tell what kind of podcast it's going to be when you look and you see that most of the coffee is already gone, but I also have a full Red Bull that hasn't been opened yet.
Is that what that is? What is that?
It's a strawberry apricot limited edition. I don't fucking know. It's just some kind of orange Red Bull.
Let me see it.
It's the amber. It's the amber edition.
The
it's
amber
a special
edition.
amber edition of Red Bull.
Oh, this is why it's like an amber color.
Yeah, sponsored by RageSelect. Red Bull, sponsored by RageSelect. It gives you wings.
Wait, why are we sponsoring Red Bull?
We're sponsoring
we don't
Red
have
Bull.
money.
Nobody's going to sponsor us. I'm going to start sponsoring other people. I'm just going to start sending them $1, and I'm going to be like, Red Bull, sponsored by RageSelect. Welcome back to the dojo. No lawyers, no lawyers, no lawyers. I'm Jeff.
That's not how that works.
No, that's
no
how it
take
works.
backs, lawyers.
That's how it works. That's how it works.
And I'm like,
no copyright. I declare bankruptcy. Just everything. You just go to YouTube. You say no lawyers 3 times like Beetlejuice, and then they can't do anything.
I'm just picturing the lawyers from The Simpsons outside the door going, snap, and then walking away.
How do you think I got the WWE 2K video up? If I just uploaded it, in the background, I really subtly, I just put in one audio track that just said no lawyers, no lawyers, no lawyers, no lawyers, no lawyers. And then they were like, he got us, you guys.
I assumed you hired Lionel Hutz.
Yes. Yes. Anyway, it's weird this week. There's no theme. There's no theme.
I don't really know either.
It's strange.
It's been a strange week for news.
Yep.
That I've seen at least.
And also, I got to be honest, like, this is maybe a little bit more ramshackle than normal because last night I ate way too much barbecue and I was about to fall asleep when I was trying to get the podcast ready. And so then I ended up watching a bunch of Ryan Reynolds movies instead, which didn't make any sense because what I really needed to do was watch Cocaine Bear so I could put Cocaine Bear in the thumbnail for this since it's on VOD. But instead I watched like a 20-year-old Ryan Reynolds movie.
Which one was it? Was it Just Friends?
I just opened up streaming apps until I saw something that I wanted, and what I ended up watching was Waiting.
Waiting? Okay.
Which is with Justin Long.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in that movie.
Yeah, and it's funny because
it's a Dane Cook feature.
Yep, Dane Cook. It's got
at his height of his stuff.
What was
Luis Guzman's
Luis Guzman. Yep, it's got a lot of people.
I forgot that one actor's name. The guy from Anchorman, who's the cowboy dude.
Oh yeah,
he's the manager or whatever. There's a lot of like big time actors in that movie.
It's funny because I don't know that I would recommend that anybody watch that movie, but I watched it in 2005 when it came out when I was like in my late 20s, and that was like chef's kiss, the exact right time to watch that movie.
Well, it was every like waiter's like favorite movie when it came out,
right?
And if you were really into Andy Milonakis at the time, which well, how are you if you still remember who the fuck that is?
I don't even know who that is.
He was in the movie. He's one of the I want to say bus boys or something like that.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember. He looked a lot like my cousin, so that's why that was one of the reasons we used to joke about Andy Milonakis all the time. But he had a show on MTV at the time. So this absurd sketch show that T-Pain would show up in every now and then.
Let's see which one this is.
And he this was at the height of his popularity. And so him being in that movie at the time was a big deal.
Yeah.
And so for a lot of those characters, a lot of those actors actually, it was a big deal at the time. And that movie, I want to say, holds up depending on your lens, is really what it comes down to.
It's a really strange movie because it's got like this really serious, like the actual plot of that movie is like Justin Long breaking out of his mid-20s, like kind of
he's trying to figure out how to move on.
Yeah, how to have a life or whatever. But in between, it's just a bunch of fart jokes. It's just a bunch of dick and fart jokes.
Well, there's like 2 main plots. So one is the Justin Long one, and the other one's like a side one. It feels like it's a new waiter being hired.
Yeah,
and so that's how it helps you introduce concepts into the movie.
Yeah,
because they'll be like, there's a game that we play where you trick each other into seeing each other's ball sack,
right?
And then you have to hit them or something.
You have to call them gay.
You have to call them gay and touch them.
They use the early 2000s word for gay.
And so, but each one is elaborate.
Yeah,
it's more elaborate than the other.
Yep.
Like the Batwing and shit like that.
Yep.
And you're like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
But if you watched it in 2005, it was the funniest goddamn thing you'd ever seen in your life.
So then when I got done, I was like, I want to watch a Ryan Reynolds movie that I really liked. And so then I went and put on the first Deadpool.
Okay.
I'm Michael, I want to ask you this question. Did anybody learn the lessons from Deadpool because nobody
not.
seems to have learned the lessons of Deadpool. Like we got a wisecracking hero, we got a lot of sex and violence, we got a really basic story like boy meets girl, they fall in love, he goes away, evil guy kidnaps girlfriend, guy has to team up with the X-Men. The end. Like it was very basic, but it was just Ryan Reynolds was just dragging that movie behind him. Actually, that's not even true. Everyone was doing a great job in that movie.
And that movie is made with love.
Yes,
and that's the reason that movie works the way it does.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have the budget to make it be the way they wanted it, which is the reason why he kept leaving his backpack full of guns behind.
Right.
Because like we don't have the budget for the backpack full of guns, so we need a reason why he doesn't have them each time.
Like I feel like even Deadpool 2 didn't learn the lessons of Deadpool 1.
No, they didn't.
Like it got really complicated with Cable and Domino and then the X-Force and then all that stuff, and it was like still vulgar and violent, but like I remember watching, I think that I was kind of turned off from Deadpool from watching Deadpool 2, and then I went back and watched Deadpool 1. I was like, this is so easy to like watch. It's just it goes down real smooth. And
well, it's the thing I always bring up about that and the first Ant-Man movie is that we need more comic book movies that feel like the 2 or 3 issues in the middle of the events that we don't get, because every fucking superhero movie now is the event comic, where it's like it's the 12-parter that's going to shock you like every fucking time, where Deadpool 1 is very much like, and then Deadpool was in a cab talking to somebody for like 5 or 6 panels. You're like, this is a fun time.
You know what? The Suicide Squad might have been the only like superhero R-rated kind of personality-driven.
It's very close,
vulgar and violent. Like
it still has event type things going on with it.
Yeah,
is the only. But again, like all movies have that issue, is they all try to be an event style comic book. Yeah, which gets tiring very fast. The way event style comic books happen. Like sometimes you just want to read a story where Spider-Man's late for work, right? Kind of thing. It doesn't always have to be. And then time travel happened, right? Causing like the space-time continuum to get fucked in the ass, and now Doctor Strange has to show up, right, and talk to a dude over and over again.
Let's go to another dimension and look at a whole bunch of characters that aren't going to be in any movies ever again. Oh, let's bring in a bunch of people from other things. Oh, let's bring in the best Venom of all time and then not use him.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas where Deadpool is just like, what if it's just like this very small story about Deadpool thinking about his old girlfriend, and then shit happens, and then like even the final battle isn't that super impressive to look at. They're like, we have one X-Men kind of thing, and like an X-Men who we changed their powers to because we like their name. Yeah, and that's literally like the only other characters they bring.
I was surprised when I watched it because the fight scenes didn't go on very long.
Yeah,
and I was
don't.
like, that's fine. Yeah. I don't need them. Like I get tired of them when they go on forever. But like I think there's only like there's the fight scene when Deadpool breaks out of the research facility. There's the montage when he's trying to find the Ajax and he's killing everybody.
Which is one of the funniest things Francis? I've ever seen.
Yeah.
The Zamboni gets me every fucking time.
Yeah. And then like... and then there's the kind of the framing device on the freeway, and then there's the big fight at the helicarrier at the end.
Yeah, and every one of them doesn't last that long, and it's not a giant... Like it's the set piece-ness of it isn't as massive as it would be. Like say like the most extreme one. As much as I love the Winter Soldier, that final battle is insane because it's a giant. It's 3 helicarriers exploding over and over again. Yep. Where this one is just one half of a helicarrier that they clearly are trying not to call a helicarrier because this was before they were allowed to do that.
And then like when I think when anybody thinks about Captain America and the Winter Soldier, it's kind of like Civil War, where very few people remember the last fight. They all remember the overpass fight because that was like thrilling and clear, and you could see everything that was happening, and you didn't have to have a billion things blowing up all at the same time.
Yeah, because the first chunk of Winter Soldier is closer to the way Deadpool is, where it's more contained. There's personal stakes going on. Yeah, there's never a point, and at least like I said in the beginning chunk of it, where it's like, and then we have to save the world from something that happens. But then it happens in Winter Soldier, where they're like, yeah, there's an equation that'll murder everybody. And you're like, well, fuck, now the stakes are like super high. Right. Where Deadpool's like, I just have to save this one specific person and murder this one specific dude.
Yeah, and then I went back and just tabbed through Deadpool 2, and I'm like, there's a scene in Deadpool 2 where Deadpool dies and goes to the the afterlife to make out with his girlfriend for 10 minutes before Cable changes time, and it's like, why have you complicated this so much?
It's a very complicated movie, the second one, to the point where even the credits makes fun of what happens in it.
Yeah.
Where it was just like I still remember the credits being like, wait, did that just happen?
Invalidated
Did she
the
just
entire...
die?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, guys?
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, what the fuck?
Anyway, go back and watch Deadpool. It's on Disney Plus.
Watch the first Deadpool. It's amazing.
Watch the first Deadpool. If you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. It's a really good time. If you have watched it, go back and watch it again if you haven't watched it in a while.
The PG-13 version of Deadpool 2 is what I want to say.
Oh, is there like a...
Yeah, you remember it came out on DVD and it was like, I forgot what it was called, but it's like him on a unicorn.
Oh, that's what that is.
To be like, this is like the children-y edition or whatever. I forget the name of it, but it was just like it was edited to be like, this would be a PG. This is what this movie would be like if it was PG-13.
Okay.
Because people used to joke that they're going to dumb it down to get more money, because that happened with Venom.
Die Hard.
With Die Hard, with Venom. The Blade thing, it might happen with 2. Everybody, it keeps happening.
Right.
And so they did that as a joke.
Okay.
But also it gave them more money.
Michael, have you watched anything that would be really cool that I could put in the thumbnail for this?
So I've been keeping up with The Mandalorian.
Yeah, me too.
Which has been an interesting time.
It's been okay.
It's been okay, like you said.
Dude, wait, you want to know what's better than season 3 of Mandalorian?
What's that?
Season 3 of fucking Picard. Like I turned off season 2 halfway through.
Everyone says that.
Season 3 of Picard fucking rules. That last episode, ooh.
All I've seen are posts of people being like, Picard season 3 is the actual sequel to the Next Generation that everybody wanted this whole fucking time.
It's good. It's real good.
Everyone says it's amazing.
It's real good. Sorry,
everyone says it's amazing.
Season 3 of Mandalorian. What are your thoughts? Grogu and
well, I'm having a decent time with it, but the issues the issues that everyone has at the moment is that Andor happened. And Andor is a super serious Star Wars show.
Right.
So every adult I know is now set to that mode for their Star Wars liking.
Sure.
Where I didn't actually get the chance to catch up on Andor. So I see The Mandalorian as the exact middle ground that I'm fine with. Where it's silly at times, but it's serious enough that I'm willing to go along with it.
Sure.
Whereas the Book of Boba Fett was like overly silly at a lot of times.
Yeah.
And then Andor is super serious, and I think Mandalorian is just right. And it's been a decent enough time. Like, it's not really like, it's not as much. I don't love it the way I like
your socks off.
Yeah, I don't love it the way I did season 1 and most of season 2. And there's a point where like one of the episodes tries to be kind of Andorish, where it's like, look at this guy who's trying to be reformed, and then stuff happens, and that's the one before this latest one. But and then like the last 10 minutes is like the actual Mandalorian plot again.
Oh, okay.
And so some people are kind of iffy on that one, because I was okay with both sides, but I feel like it probably didn't need to be that long.
Yeah.
But I like where it's going so far. The problem is I just don't know how long the season's supposed to be to make what it's doing work, I think, is what I feel. Like, I feel like we needed more time for Grogu to be doing other things before we immediately went straight to, and then him and Mando are having adventures again, because they keep solving cliffhanger things too fast.
Yeah,
because season 2 ends with like Grogu being like, and then he went with Luke, and who knows when you're gonna see him again. And then Boba Fett happens, and immediately he's like, I'm back, everybody. And then there's a point in Boba Fett where he admits that he took his helmet off. And they're just like, oh, you're now cast out of here. Yeah. You're like, where's that going to go? Oh, it'll be solved in like 3 episodes. Like, fuck you guys. Stop introducing things that are interesting and then immediately solving them. It's very frustrating.
I agree that things are getting, well, I agree somewhat. I think that the thing I disagree with was the whole just like, yep, you took off your helmet, so we're kicking you out of our dumb religious cult. And like in episode 2 of The Mandalorian, he goes to hang out with Action Jackson, and he's like, and Action Jackson's like, hey man, stay here. Look at this cool place. Like you and your fucking Yoda, you guys can move into that house right over there. You can hang out. Everybody's super cool with you. This place is cool. He's like, no, I have to get back in good with the cult that I was raised in. Like if I don't go back and get back into the cult, then nothing will happen. And that's very important to me. And I'm like, it's not important to me. Be the sheriff of fucking Weatherspoon. Arthur'sville.
Well, that's what I mean, because you expect it to be like this thing where it's like now he has to find out who he is without this cult.
Yeah.
You expect it to be that kind of storyline. Instead, he's like, I'm going to double down on it, and I'm going to solve this shit immediately.
Yeah.
And you're like, but I kind of don't want you to do that, to be honest.
I don't know if it's going to come back, and I this is a really mild complaint, but like I remember when I watched it in the beginning, he's just like, I gotta have IG-88. I'm going to the Mandalorian planet. I gotta have IG-88 with me. And then he goes to what's her face with the scraggly hair, and he's like, I need the parts to fix IG-88. And she's like, I don't have those. Do you want this busted R5? And he's like, yeah, I guess so. And then it's just like, wait, what? I thought you needed IG-88.
He's so like adamant that he needs IG-88, and she's like, I give you the shitty droid for $20. And he's like, fine, put him in the ship. And then you're like, what the fuck was the point of all of this?
It's like, did you guys have to yank down the IG-88 statue just to have a Babu Frick?
Also, by the way, that IG-88 should be the one part of the IG-88 that's not intact. Because that's where the fucking detonator was.
Right.
Was directly in his goddamn chest.
Anyway. Yeah,
Sorry.
Mandalorian.
Sorry, guys.
It's
Mandalorian.
acceptable.
Other than that, Metroid Prime Remastered's great.
Okay. Diablo 4 beta. I have thoughts, but we don't have time for that. So
we talk too much about Deadpool.
Talk too much about Deadpool.
We can bring it up if it comes up a news story.
Story of our life. Yeah. Okay, we do have a big story this week. Michael did get a chance to watch this, and I don't blame him. In fact, I bet none of you watch this. There was a 1 hour.
When was this, by the way?
This was
today?
GDC about a day ago.
Oh, then how? I definitely was
day
surprised
before.
about this.
So, GDC is happening right now, and they did. Epic Games did a State of Unreal conference.
Oh, okay.
Where they talked about a bunch of stuff. And the big thing was they were announcing the stuff that was going to be happening in Unreal Engine 5.2. So we're going to go over some of this. There's a lot going on here. They talked a lot about the stuff that's happening. It's funny though, because they even brought up the FTC settlement that I talked about last week.
Okay, I'm laughing because I forgot that Epic's the name of a game company.
Oh,
because it just
there's
says
a slide.
Yeah, the slide says Epic FTC settlement.
It was so epic.
It was so fucking epic,
we
guys.
spent $249 million. It was so
brutal.
epic.
Yeah, so I forgot that. That made me laugh.
So I'm gonna do this from memory, and I'm gonna say as much of this as I can. Part of what they talked about this FTC settlement is that they're actually adding in a whole baked-in parental control suite into the Unreal 5 engine.
Oh,
so that like developers can just like have those by default.
That's
without
right, kids. That's candy flowing out of their bodies now.
Well, this is more like
realistic candy.
This is more the monetization thing.
I know, but it'd be funny if that's what it did. Like rainbows flying out of a guy who gets decapitated.
Because they hired some company to like help them set a bunch of new parental control stuff.
It should literally be that sequence in the Team Fortress 2 trailer with the pyro.
Oh.
It should just be that entire thing. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
So, but they talked. The big thing here was they talked about Unreal Engine 5.2. To be honest, this is GDC, right? So this is not.
It's a lot of game developer talk.
Yes, it's a lot of like pasty nerd white guys with a microphone going like, we 7.5 million registered users this quarter.
It's that thing in movies where they're at a conference and the white guy is just like hardly working and everyone laughs kind of thing.
Yeah,
because everyone's a bunch of nerds.
It's also the game developers conference, so I'm sure the audience is a carbon copy of the guys on stage
for the most part.
All of them wearing
they're trying
sweaters,
not to be, but for the most part they are
having glasses on. So they started off with this demonstration of the Foliage engine, which is an Unreal Engine 5.2. And one of the ways that they wanted to show it off was they had this electric pickup truck by Rivia that they apparently they scanned it because they have that nanite thing.
Oh, this is an actual truck.
This is an actual truck. Well, I mean, it's a scan, right, of an actual truck.
Well, that's what I mean. I thought I wasn't sure if they made one from scratch or
no. Yeah, it's an actual truck that you could buy. So they show it, and a lot of what they're trying to show here and kind of driving around is that it on the fly, it does the physics for the suspension going up and down. It does a lot of automatic water deformation, mud and rocks busting around and whatever.
Yeah,
because it's all their demos. It was really impressive. All the demos they were doing were people using the tools in real time. But the craziest thing was there was a certain point where they first showed I think nanite is actually the thing where it's like it scales depending on how close you get to the thing.
Yeah.
Like you can have a really super high resolution texture map and it automatically lowers the detail.
Yeah, because it's supposed to bring it up the closer you get to it,
right?
And then so lower as the farther away you are.
One of the things they showed was changing the material to like opal.
On the truck itself?
On the truck itself,
That's
yeah,
interesting.
and how like showing how it's got like a clear top coating and how you can see as the camera moves around. It's hard to do this for an audio podcast, but this is really impressive shit. Like,
well, just think of that sequence in Uncut Gems where he's like looking at a gem.
Right.
It's kind of like that sort of look.
yeah, and how like it changes the facets of what's inside of the material based on where the camera is moving, where the light is, and all
That's
that stuff.
fascinating. This is 5.2?
5.2, Unreal Engine 5.2, which is out.
Is it already out?
They were like, it was one of those, like, we made this available today. Most of the shit here is available today.
Oh, I can't wait to see how this plays out.
The other thing that's really interesting is that there's this part in the demo where they drive underneath this log, and once they drive underneath this log, everything on the other side of the log is like kind of procedurally generated. Like they show this toolkit and they show kind of like, okay, well, let's say we wanted to make a thing where the player could choose a left path or a right path, and then they go into the software and they just go like boop, and it makes like a mountain with a left and a right path, like kind of just at the push of a button. And like just fills that shit in, and like it's totally available.
That's crazy shit if that actually works that way.
And then they said, well, let's see, what if you just want to have one path? And so he literally grabs this giant rock formation and just drags it over, and it reconfigures all of the foliage and all of the stuff to just dynamically be like, okay, now it's all over here. It goes like
Jesus,
and then just boop, then it refills everything. It fills in like where there used to be a log. It takes it out. It puts stuff in. Like,
so guys, the fun thing about game development is that it looks like magic.
Yeah.
Even to the people who actually know what it is.
Yep.
Because I've talked to game developers over here and there, and you'd be surprised that games get made at all.
Yep. Yeah. So
There's
they're
all sorcery that no one actually understands.
in this clip, they're putting in events where rock slides will happen as you drive by. So there's like a trigger, and then when you drive by it, like rocks will fall down.
Oh, that's fun.
But then they talk about how like they have this entire huge area, and they show how you can basically just kind of like how many trees do you want, and they just lower the number and it just like defoliates, and then like, no wait, that's too few trees, add in more trees, and then it's just like boop boop boop,
Give me
and
all
like,
the trees that you have.
and the thing about this, Michael, is that the end result of this looks like fucking Uncharted 4 when you're driving around.
It really does.
Like, it looks so detailed, but it was just like, you just made it. Like, one of the most interesting things is that they zoom back and they show kind of the entire valley, and then they show like they turn off. This is what was handmade.
Oh, okay.
The rest of it was like this very small part at the very beginning. The rest was generated based on the toolkit around this as a template that could then be gone into and changed on the fly. Like, there is a lot of automation happening to the point where I might be downloading Unreal Engine and trying to make a game because it's like, well, it takes a lot of work, and Epic keeps going like, nah, that's all right. It doesn't take any work at all.
We're at the point because there's a lot of games coming out nowadays that are like that have the thing where it's like, and this was mostly made by like 3 people.
Yeah,
and it looks like fucking Devil May Cry 5, and you're like, what the fuck is happening?
They talked a lot about Fortnite. They talked a lot about the dynamic lighting because of the different times of day.
Yeah, because they added that recently, right?
Yeah. Well, and then the major thing they talked about was how, like, since in Fortnite you can bust down walls, right? It had to be a thing where then if you bust down a wall, you couldn't bake in the light map, right? Because if a wall gets bust down, then you need the light to come in to the area, all of which, as somebody who's played Fortnite recently, it's like, Fortnite has a very basic, very simplistic looking art style, but like it really like when you add all of this lighting tech and shit in here, it really does oomph it up.
Oh, yeah, because I tried it out before the new version of it now.
Yeah.
And it's night and day.
Yeah.
Almost literally.
Yep. They also showed I'm not sure how far things went. They go over Fortnite for quite a while. Some kind of glow up stuff that they're doing. They did show a really interesting demo of being able to like oh no, then they went on to third party stuff. They show. I would have to do this in order. They showed a really interesting demo where they showed like a collaborative thing where like you can have somebody in your development studio logged into the instance of Fortnite that you are like editing, playing Fortnite, and then you could put down like a building, and then it'll show that building like to the person while in real time while they're moving through.
That's crazy. You should.
Yeah,
the connections for these must be massive then.
What's that?
So the internet connections for these must be massive to produce something like that.
The thing is that later on they have a demo for a thing, and then they talk about that it's like 400 megs to download this level, which is like
that's not a lot. That's
not
fucking
that
crazy.
Much.
What the fuck?
I think a lot of it is because they're using store assets that then get streamed directly out of their servers into the project.
That makes sense, yeah.
But anyway, they show a few things. They have a game called Infinitesimals. They show a few third-party things. Infinitesimals is basically like you're a little bug alien man, and you're like wandering through the world like there's a giant world, kind of like Grounded if it was like a single player.
Yeah, if it was like a more serious-y kind of idea.
Yeah, and they kind of showed like some of the way that the lighting engine looks. All of their footage was really blurry. I'm not sure why. Like it all has this kind of bokeh blur, soft light over it.
Yeah, I can't tell if that's on purpose or not.
I think it might be, but I'm not sure.
I think it's you know what, one of the best way to describe this to you people. It's like Gears of War with a Bug's Life.
Yeah. Also, there's a big old spider guy later on.
Of course, there is.
So it looks like Gears of War Pikmin.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
Gears of Pikmin.
The Pikmin of War.
Pikmin of War. They're really focused an awful lot. They also talk with this guy from Kabam about they made the Disney Mirrorverse and all these phone things.
Oh yeah.
They talked about they're making like a King Arthur kind of RPG game for phones.
I love how often game developers are like, we need a new idea, and then they look at King Arthur or Robin Hood and they're like, well, that but edgy.
Right.
Every fucking time.
Right. They're also hung up on the time of day lighting.
Yes, they're also very hung up on that.
Everybody is, and I guess there's a reason for that.
Well, it's the new thing. It's because we always talk about over the years what is the next big thing in gaming.
Yeah,
and right now it's lighting.
So this is interesting. They actually show there's also a thing with the animation suite where you can watch the same animation and the Unreal Engine will kind of like change it up a little bit. Like it'll add a little bit of like kind of randomness to get to the same final conclusion.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like the way that Uncharted did that like frame blending, so that it kind of looked a little bit more naturalistic. I think
it wants it to make it look less robotic.
Yeah.
So they're doing different little things that make it not as like obvious.
Yeah. By the way, this King Arthur game looks like poop to me. I don't want to play it. It looks totally.
It looks like every other fucking mobile
like Rage
game.
Shadow Legends or some bullshit.
Yeah, it's gonna be not. It's gonna be one of those games.
Yeah.
Either you're gonna like it, or you're gonna fucking hate it. There's no in between.
They showed off the new Lords of the Fallen game.
This is the sand one, right?
What's that?
This is the sand one?
No, Lords of the Fallen was like one of the first Souls.
Oh, wait, no, I'm thinking of what the other people are making.
Yeah. This one showed off they're using the character engine, and they showed basically how like the armor in the game will like, if you make a really skinny guy, it'll get skinnier.
This wasn't the Surge developer one, right? This was the other.
Well, the people who made the Surge made the original. I think this is a spin-off studio. That's
I wasn't sure who was making this one. They're making that sand one that I was thinking of.
I think.
Yeah, they're the ones making that one.
Or
Deck 13.
Deck 13.
Yeah.
They show kind of the zoom, like the nanite, like levels of detail when you zoom way in, which is pretty cool. They also said it's interesting because they have
that was just the Deadpool character. Or not Deadpool. That is just the fucking
Bloodborne.
Vampire killer. Sorry, this is just a Bloodborne character with a vampire killer.
How the game has this whole like dual world thing where there's like a light world and a dark world that you switch, like a nightmare world and a dream world that you switch between. And so they showed off some of the lighting tech and then kind of just how you can cut between the two different areas by adding additional like assets that look creepy and weird.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks like they basically were like, you know what, Lords of the Fall was missing Bloodborne. It was missing a lot of Bloodborne,
which I'm not mad with, to be honest.
Man, if nobody's gonna make me more Bloodborne, I'm all right with them making me more Bloodborne.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
So
as long as it plays well, I'm totally cool with that.
NCSoft had a very brief trailer for Project M, which you and I have talked about before. There was like this kind of like it's
like a time travel thing,
action, but kind of like a Jason, like Heavy Rain,
I just couldn't remember
kind of thing.
And I also kept bringing up the Smash Brothers thing that used to be called that.
So, but then at the end they say that like some of this is like the character and some of the voice generation is like all AI. I'm like, oh boy.
Well, AI's got really good with voices, especially if you get like enough of it, because that's how that guy made the that Witcher 3 expansion they made themselves.
Yeah,
they used AI voice works to get Geralt to say a bunch of shit.
I saw there was another one for like Skyrim or something like that. I think.
A lot of modders are using it in that way. That's one of the things that started causing that the dialogue among a bunch of voice actors to really happen was when that Witcher 3 one happened, because everyone was so impressed with it.
Yeah, and then
the voice actor for the people were talking about I think they asked the voice actor for Geralt, and he's like, "No, this is weird as shit. Like, I don't want this to be a thing, guys. Like, this is scary."
Let's see. From there, they talked about MetaHuman. You remember that? It was like the tool that they built so you could make really realistic looking humans.
That's right.
And this is one that has like actually they showed off like a little thing. Apparently, like some of the things from Love, Death, and Robots just use Unreal Engine 5 with MetaHuman people in it.
It would make sense. It saves them time.
But what was
did they say Curb Your Enthusiasm?
It said Grip Your Enthusiasm.
Okay, because he looks like
Crip Ya Enthusiasm.
Oh, because it's supposed to be like Larry David, basically.
So they brought out the lady who's Senua from Senua's Sacrifice.
Oh,
and this is really an interesting demo. Like they talk a lot about how this works, and what they do is they bring out a like a tripod and they put an iPhone on it and they have her look into the iPhone and record like a minute or two of dialogue with some different facial expressions and whatnot. And then in real time on stage, it takes them about 3 minutes to process that into MetaHuman, build a map for it.
That was horrifying for a second there.
And then at the end, put it onto this MetaHuman model and have it just do the same thing. And like, I got to be honest, like, it's not 100%. Like there's a few expressions that probably could use some tweaking, but like,
well, because it feels like frames are missing. Like, if that makes sense, when somebody makes a facial expression, there's a lot of sequences in their face that happen to get to that point.
Yeah,
but she makes a few faces where like it just automatically goes straight to that.
Yeah,
because it feels like it's the way animation is, where it feels like frames are missing to get to that point of it.
Some of that was her performance.
It was, but what I'm saying is that it's much more like fastly getting there. Because when you watch her do it, it doesn't like automatically become that where her mouth goes completely open. Like there's that sequence between when her mouth is doing the motion to get there.
Yeah,
but like the game doesn't have that subtle part of it yet.
I guess what was really interesting about this was the fact that they did it with a fucking iPhone in like 3 minutes. Like,
yeah, that's the most amazing thing about it. That's why I'm not giving any faults for it. I'm just saying it's the only thing that caught me off guard about it, was because when I watched her do it manually, I didn't have that issue, because you're actually seeing a person's face make all the motions, where the engine wasn't able to fully produce everything, but enough to where it's like really impressive. And
then they show basically the same sequence mapped onto other MetaHuman characters, including like a little cartoon kid, right? Like it's all just data that can be mapped into these characters. And what this really got me thinking about was like, how when you've got like RPGs that have a whole bunch of NPCs that you have to talk to, and they're all super goddamn robotic because like you just loaded up like dialogue expression package one.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, you just be like, hey, it's lunch, everybody. We brought in lunch today, but before anybody can have lunch, everybody's got to spend 30 minutes talking into the camera. Like, just
making weird facial
come over here, Frank. You got to do NPC 565. He's like, well, hello, adventurer. Nice to see you. Like,
well, it's the thing that specific thing that it's doing, it brings up, I'm going to bring up Spider-Man real quick, is that everyone was giving Insomniac shit about changing the face actor for Peter Parker.
Yeah.
But that exact demo shows exactly why they had to do something like that.
Yeah.
Because if you get somebody's face that matches as close to the actual voice actor's facial features, that this will work even better than anything else.
Yep.
Which is why it's so easy to where people are like, he looks like Tom Holland. It's like, no, if you put fucking Yuri Lowenthal's face and this dude's face next to each other, they have the exact same fucking facial features. That's all it comes down to.
At the end, they show a little chunk from Senua's Sacrifice, or Senua's the second one, where it's more like she's got the cameras right in front of her face, like the actual mocap cameras.
Yeah.
But I even noticed when she was doing those that they don't have to put the dots on anymore. Like,
yeah, that's the thing. I still see that. I think that just shows how much this technology's come and how far it's come.
Yeah,
because they're still doing it. It's not like this is already being used for games at the moment. Because I saw, because Steve Bloom posted him doing that with all the dots in his face not that long ago for something. We don't know yet. It might be Wolverine. Who knows? But this means that this will most likely become the next thing for those actors, because it takes even less time to do it, because now you don't have to sit there and get every little piece of dot painted on your face.
Yeah, means you could do more. You could do more roles, right?
Yeah,
you don't have to have as much setup, right?
Yeah, and you can switch out people much faster too.
Yep.
It's gonna save them so much time.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. One of the big things that they're doing, is this it? Yeah. So they're merging what is it? Unreal, and then the Scan Tech. I forget what it's called. God, I forget what it's called. And like Nanite and Lumen and like all that stuff. And then the Unreal Marketplace, as well as Bandcamp, as well as Sketch Fab, or whatever it's called. Sketch.
I'm not sure.
Auto Sketch, or whatever it's called. They're basically merging all of the companies that they've bought into one marketplace called Fab that will all work with Unreal Engine 5.
That's a great idea.
So you can basically just like grab content, any of the, because that one was like, you remember that, I don't know if you were on when we talked about it. It's a tech where it was like you can just take your phone and you take like you do like a bunch of 4K passes on items.
That was really early on. Not early on. I remember that when it was one of the. It was that presentation with the remake thing too.
Yeah,
the remake engine. I don't remember what it was called. Where if you like just took an old game and you could up-res the shit out of it. Yeah, it's just like a few chunks. Because that was the other part of it, was that you could add anything to it.
Quixel, yeah, that's the name of it.
Because you could add anything into the system as long as you took enough pictures of it.
Yeah, Quixel, ArtStation, and then Sketchfab.
Guys, prepare to see a lot of weird shit get made soon.
And the UE5 Marketplace, and that's all places where creators can put stuff up for sale for use within Unreal Engine without having to go to each individual marketplace, and it's all called Fab. So that's pretty big, man. Like,
it's going to be huge, although it's going to be a fun game of playing a game going, where do I recognize that table from?
Right. Well, yeah, that's the question. We had the story last week about the guys that ripped the animation out of Elden Ring and then put it up on the marketplace. And Epic is like, I mean, I don't know. It's funny because I saw brief tangent. We don't have time for this, but a brief tangent. I saw James Stephanie Sterling talking about this, about being like, Epic is a multi-million-dollar company. Why aren't they vetting everything that goes onto the Epic Game Store? And it's like, are you going to vet every animation that gets put up against what? Everything?
Yeah, that would
every
be impossible.
game that's ever been made, like.
And even then, the sheer amount of stuff people are going to be adding is going to be fucking impossible to vet.
Yeah,
without getting a very, very congested pipeline.
This is. I feel like I'm not like super pro business or anything, but like I feel like this is one of those things where it's better to take plagiarism on a case-by-case basis than it is to try to like gatekeep plagiarism from coming on in the first place, because 99.9% of what's going up there is legit. So
yeah, and when it pops up, the internet's going to let you know about it.
Yeah,
and it's going to be way easier than hiring somebody to vet it.
Yep. Let's see. So from there, I'm trying to think of what else. Blah 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 blah. This is the big one. They are creating a new a unified Fortnite editor. So rather than making things in Unreal Engine, there's going to be like a Fortnite specific tool that lets you kind of start with a Fortnite island. It's what they currently have, but it's being like more directly tied to a lot more of the asset store. And they have a demo, which is really interesting, where they show basically like the current thing lets you remix Fortnite, right? But like this way they're adding in MetaHuman, they're adding in Quixel, they're adding in like the marketplace, they're adding in all of that stuff to be able to make Fortnite stuff using those assets and tools the same way that you would in Unreal, but direct. Okay. And they show a really interesting kind of they show like a really interesting demo. Let's see if I can find, yeah, this is it. That is like a very realistic scene, but it's just like, this is in Fortnite. This is using the Fortnite character models, but like inside, and they're using like the Unreal Engine cinematic engine for that. They have a new scripting engine that they've put in that can be used to create like they have these enemies that pop in, and they show how they were able to use this really basic scripting language to basically be like, this is where they spawn. See if the player is within X meters and then spawn them, as opposed to just spawning in a row to let you do like more reactive stuff. But anybody who hasn't seen this, it looks not like Fortnite at all.
No, it looks like they're in the middle of a Call of Duty level.
Yeah.
That's not as like darkly lit kind of thing.
Yeah. So they show that. They show briefly, they show their script manager that has like a very small kind of scripting component that you can add in directly from the development tool. They also show off the way that the little cutscene at the beginning was done, and how you can just move the camera, you can make it slow-mo, you can do other stuff. It's kind of like like a source filmmaker type of thing almost.
Yeah. Again, guys, all of game development is sorcery.
Yeah.
I'll never understand it. Like, it looks really cool, though.
And then they switch it over to nighttime, and they have kind of like a shootout with a big mech. And all this is like in Fortnite. So,
it's fucking crazy how much shit they've been able to do with the sheer amount of money Fortnite has given them.
You know, it's the thing that's weird about it, right, is that everybody forgets that Epic was like a game creation company before they started making Fortnite. And they were more of an engine creator when they were even making Fortnite in the first place. So the idea that their engine could do all this crazy shit, and that they've got like the most popular video game on the planet as a showcase for all their insane shit is like... So that's some insane shit right there.
It was a happy accident.
Yeah.
The original Fortnite, for a long time, was just
tower defense.
This tower defense zombie game that no one talked about.
Yep.
I remember it came and went. I was at work one day, and somebody was like, "Oh, you've heard about Fortnite?" I was like, "That zombie tower defense game?" They're like, "No, it's a free-to-play battle royale." And I'm like, that sounds made up. You're making that up, kind of thing. It's like, and then
stop lying, Jim.
And then they're like, "Yeah, it's free to play." And I'm like, "What's happening? Like, when did this happen?" And then it exploded from there.
Thing, yeah.
And I was like, maybe I'll look into it. And I downloaded it for like a minute. And then I'm like, this is some Looney Tune shit where you got to build a bunch of shit.
Yep.
And I don't have time to understand this at the moment. So I never went back to it. And then one day, fucking every goddamn property on the planet wants to be a part of this fucking thing.
Yep.
And you know what? Good for them. Because it sells so much more money that they then put into making Unreal do some insane shit.
And so what the thing that they finished up with, or they had two things they finished up with. One was... So right now, Fortnite has a thing where, like, if somebody makes content, like remix content on the Fortnite store, and you play it and you thumbs it up, there's like a a monetization mechanic.
I didn't know that.
But they are changing that mechanic. 40% of all the profits that Fortnite makes are going to be put into a fund that will then be paid out, like depending on how popular it is, to people that make this content if people play it. So if you make something and it becomes really popular, then that pool of money will be used to pay you.
That's amazing.
In a way, because they said that the people that make stuff in Fortnite tend to spend more money in the store, right? And so it's kind of a way of almost like refunding, like either giving back or like paying out. But it's really interesting because it can be paid out. It can this can be done to a company or anybody over 18 that has had a Fortnite account for 90 days. So like this is a direct shot at Roblox in a much more popular setting, right?
Well,
like
it's not even just that. It's a much more realistic setting.
Yeah,
because Roblox is like it's borderline Minecraft in a lot of ways. So the building on it, it's not as like you can still make some crazy shit in Roblox. I'm not gonna pretend that's not the case, but there's just so much more going on that you're held back by the kid friendliness options in that series where the sky's almost the limit.
Yeah, I mean it's also a great way to give people a monetary incentive to learn how to use Unreal Engine 5, especially at a young age, especially tinkerers.
Yeah.
These people are going to be growing up learning the tools of Unreal Engine 5.
It's also almost free labor because not everything's going to pay out. But
sure.
That doesn't mean they're not going to be that much less popular.
But at least if something does pay out, you actually get paid.
Yes, yeah, and these people could get scouted.
Yeah,
that happens all the time with people who make fan art stuff. It's fan art type things. Whether it's in a map, whether it's just an image, these people pay attention.
Yeah,
they really do. That's the thing. A lot of not safe for work artists get hired by these people because they make some real detailed crazy shit, and they're like, "That's fucked up, but it's super detailed. I want you to do that for me without the porn part of it."
So what's interesting, man, I gotta say, I gotta watch this whole thing, and then it ends with kind of with like the main guy talking about how like he does this whole speech about how like the metaverse, right? And he's like, but you know, they kept trying to like monetize it. It had to be like
uncomfortable, by the way.
Oh yeah. It had to be like gate kept with like crypto or NFTs, or now it's AI, and we're just like, we think that the metaverse is going to be created when we just give everybody in the world the tools to do whatever the fuck they want, and let's all go on this journey and see how it goes together. We're going to give you money if you make something that's really popular. We're going to give you a fun game for free if that's what you want. We're going to give you all the tools in the world to do whatever the fuck you feel like, and it's just like, don't make me like you, Epic. Like I don't like to like corporations, but
here's the thing: is Epic has realized very early on that a thing that a lot of other companies have not, that he keeps bringing up, which is that the community will do all of your work for you before you ever have to actually do anything. Like if what is the name of the thing in Ready Player One? The world that it is,
the Oasis.
Yeah. If the Oasis ever actually happened, there's not going to be like one big creator that's like, you can get everything if you win my prizes. It's going to be a bunch of like dudes who have nothing better to do in the middle of their retail time or whatever jobs they have, who are really, really good at making very intense, detailed things.
Yeah.
And it's going to be magical whenever it does happen.
Yeah.
But it's also going to be the Wild West for a very long time.
Well, and at least the ethos on display here, Michael, is that they're like, here are the tools, here's an incentive to make something, and now we're gonna get out of the way. You guys go do whatever the fuck you feel like. And
that's gotten a lot of technology a long way in the past 20 years.
I mean, think about just the idea with that qubit, the scanning, high-res scan things, where it's just like, like scan some stuff and put it in our database. We'll pay you if anybody downloads it. Like if they buy it for $1, then we'll give you 50 cents. And it's like, right. But then they also are developing a huge database of textures and items and objects and geometry.
And people like taking pictures of shit. And now they're going to take pictures of shit for money.
Yep.
And it's going to be, they're going to have a base of just a bunch of shit no one ever expected to have in there.
Yep.
pencils, all kinds of things.
Actually, my first thought was it was like, oh no, Michael and I we're gonna get together we're gonna go download Unreal Engine and make the Dragon Ball game that Michael's always wanted because of all the Dragon Ball assets.
No, that would take
that.
That involves work, and I don't want to do that.
Well, also, I'm sure that
I'd rather make the Superman one because I have enough Dragon Ball games.
I'm sure that Epic will make all the. I'm sure Epic. As free and open as they are, they're not going to like let you infringe. They're not going to let you make Sonic the Hedgehog.
No,
like,
although there's a lot of great stuff on YouTube of people doing stuff like that.
Yeah,
there used to be videos all the time. Where they're like, I took Unreal Engine 4 and made a Dragon Ball GT like demo thing, and they have this like ultra realistic Goku doing a bunch of shit in this ultra realistic area. I'm like, that's neat, but no one will ever let you make that.
What if we try to get around it? What if we make the best Supreme game that nobody's ever played?
Do you think they care about Supreme?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
I don't think any. How about Mr. Majestic? Like, or what was that horrible Netflix show that died?
Oh, the Mark Millar one. I forgot the name of it.
Nebulars or something. The
Marzians, I don't remember what the fuck his name was.
Anyway, this is a cool thing. I think everybody who's interested in video games should go watch it.
We should make a Mighty Mouse game. I don't think anybody's paid attention to him in a while.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to when Unreal Engine gets when Unreal Engine 5.2 really gets heavily adopted and we start seeing, and we're already seeing some stuff from it.
Yeah. Unreal Engine 5 has already produced some interesting things that have popped up.
The main reason for that, right, is because I've seen how well it runs on a PlayStation and an Xbox.
1,000%, yeah.
Right? Like it can run on anything and it looks good when it does. And I'm just like, stop using Frostbite. It runs like dog shit everywhere. So
yeah, I'm glad that Unreal is starting to they're taking over the market again the way they did back when Unreal 3 was happening.
Yep. All right, after a lot of teasing and squeezing and pleasing, Counter-Strike 2 is a thing officially.
Real.
For reals. For realsy reals.
The legends are true.
Yep. They're doing a limited test run right now for select CSGO players. There are a few things that are kind of been this is what we thought it was going to be, where it's Source 2, basically. And there are 3 things that have been added, like 3 big things. They actually put out YouTube videos for this stuff.
Yes, so the biggest stuff have like 3 fairly longer videos.
Yeah. One is Smoke. That Smoke is responsive now.
Not Mortal Kombat Smoke. He's not being added to Counter-Strike. That'd be funny.
Is it the Smoke now like takes up a volumetric area, so it fills the area that it's in and deforms around objects, and like if you shoot at it, it'll like go away and then come back. Like,
yeah, it's like it's supposed to be the way smoke works when you throw wind at it, kind of thing.
So it's kind of reactive and interesting. It looks pretty good. The second is what's it called? Like tick.
Subticks.
Subticks, yeah. Oh, somebody wrote a news story about this.
I did. Perhaps I did.
So every time when you're playing an online video game, the game will update at a certain number, like a certain. Well, some games have an update scheme where they update every X amount of time, and those are called ticks. So if you're doing something between ticks, it can be not registered, which can cause problems. Now it's like it's just reporting information instead of waiting for ticks.
Pretty much as fast as it can.
Yeah,
and which is great, especially for a shooter. Because every second counts. Because we've all played shooters where like I totally hit the click button or the button to fire at that dude.
Yep.
And then that dude hit you faster. It's because his internet connection was faster, and the tick was like, no, that dude shot first. Where your internet connection was like, what happened? I don't remember. Where are we?
Yep.
And so the subtick is supposed to help out both sides for that. So hopefully that works out.
And then third, they showed off like the kind of glow up on levels. And they said that they're going to be like, they're going to be like kind of adding detail to some levels and revamping other levels. They kind of had some stuff where they were talking about. They changed
like a lot of the materials and stuff.
Yeah.
It was that thing with the truck that we're talking about where it's like, make it look, instead of like wood, make it metal or something, that kind of thing.
Right.
It's doing that with them, as well as lighting stuff. But because, again, lighting is the big thing.
lighting makes a hell of a difference.
Yep.
I didn't think it would make that much difference, but now I've been proven wrong. The early ray tracing demos were all just like, look at all these Christmas lights turned up to 200%, so you could see their red light bouncing off of stuff, and it was like, what? Fucking, I don't care.
It didn't really make any sense to me. It wasn't until you showed me that Minecraft one,
Yeah,
where it was like the lava, and then everything looked super fucking cool because the lava lit up everything. I'm like, okay, I fucking get it now.
Yep. So, yeah, Counter-Strike 2. It's a thing, and it looks like they're doing what we had postulated about a little while back, which is like slowly kind of migrating, like making it compatible with CS:GO, and then slowly migrating people into this new version.
Yeah, because apparently they also all the stock items of the game are also being up-resed, which I think is also really fucking cool, because that means they don't have to like re-get these things.
All the weapon skins.
Yeah, I think some of the character skins too. And I'm like, that's fascinating.
Yep.
But it's crazy that this thing just sort of, like, there were rumors for it for a while, but I feel like it kind of just came out of nowhere.
The last couple of weeks, there's been a lot more chatter about it. But yeah, you're right. It seems like the sort of thing that you would have seen a teaser for a year ago.
Yeah, like they found it on accident.
Yeah,
because somebody said there was like an update or something.
The
CS:GO 2 or something.
The GeForce Now library had CS:GO 2.exe added to it in one of its updates.
That's right. That's literally what started the rumor.
So
it's crazy. It's absolutely nuts.
Yeah, looking at this, looking at the news stories. Counter-Strike's been around since 2000.
Yes,
the year 2000.
It's very old.
Yeah,
at this point.
I was playing it around that time, and then like CS:GO came out in like 2011 or something like that.
Something like that. And then because I've known many people over the years who were really in the Counter-Strike.
Yeah,
and they talk about it as if they went to war, because some crazy shit happened back in the day.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to join it, but I was very bad at it.
I played it for a while, and then I got tired of. I like, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I used to be an online action. Like I used to play Counter-Strike like crazy all the time.
Oh, okay.
And then I got fucking sick of playing Counter-Strike all the time, and so I stopped. My friends kept playing it, and then Battlefield 1942 came out, and they're like, "Jeff, we're all going to Battlefield 1942," and I was like, I want to play single-player games, you guys. I don't want to play with you. You guys are better than me, and it sucks.
That's usually what happens when that tends to go away.
Yeah. Well, speaking of online games with both multiplayer and single-player, you know what? That was the worst. Speaking of Battlefield, Battlefield 1943 and the Battlefield Bad Company games are getting pulled off of the EA storefronts in April.
That's bumming me out.
Yep. So this is it just said in April.
April 28th.
April 28th.
The funny thing is that when I first heard about this, the fucking Mirror Edge games were in there for some reason.
Yes.
And then they're like, no, it turns out that's not it. I'm like, is it because you don't know what Mirror's Edge is, or is it because what's happening here?
They were incorrectly added into that list and then got pulled later on. But
which makes sense, because like it would be weird for it to be in the middle of a list of Battlefield games.
Yeah. Because the main reason this is happening is because they're shutting down servers for
which makes sense.
1943 Bad Company 1. Well, it makes a little bit of sense, except for the fact that Bad Company 1 and Bad Company 2 have single-player campaigns. Like,
oh, yeah, that's true.
1943 was a free update for people to try out some of the new engine features, but like Battlefield Bad Company 1 and 2 legit have stories that you should be able to play. I don't care about the multiplayer.
Yeah, which is a shame, because everybody keeps wanting more Bad Company story.
Yep.
And they're just never going to do it.
I don't know if people actually want that, or if they just have rosy thoughts.
It's a little bit of both, to be honest.
The old Bad
it's
Company.
Absolutely both.
Yeah. So, go out and buy all those games. No, don't get 1943. Well, that was a free game anyway.
Yeah, buy the Bad Company games for this plot, because they're fun. I still remember the old commercials for those. They were real funny.
I remember the fucking Metal Gear joke in Bad Company 1.
That was the one I remember the most.
Yeah.
Actually, that and the Gears of War one is the other one I remember.
Yeah.
Because he was just like, they were making fun of the song. Like, he's like, your favorite dreams are about dying? That doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Yeah. And then I think one more story, Michael, and we're going to take a break.
All
right. So speaking of EA, let's talk about FIFA for a second.
Oh, God, what did they do?
So at a recent... so for anybody who doesn't know, earlier this year, FIFA wanted EA to pay them like $1 billion to keep
Something
the
a
FIFA
lot,
franchise, and EA was like, no.
Which is surprising.
We will go make our own FIFA game with blackjack and hookers. Like,
And
fuck
probably
you.
actual blackjack, to be honest.
Probably, yeah. So the president of FIFA, Gianni Infantino, that is exact.
That's actually his name.
I'm not being a jerk. Basically swore that that FIFA will be making their own game, their own FIFA game, to directly compete with the EA's Soccer FC game. And he said, the new FIFA game, FIFA 25, 26, 27, and so on, will always be the best game for any girl or boy. We will have news on this very soon. I cannot wait. It is going to be such a shit show. Oh my God, it's going to be amazing. And
I can't fucking wait.
people are dunking on this guy on Twitter. I mean, remember
The fact he's like for every good boy and girl.
It's an
like
e-game.
a Pokemon fucking professor.
it's the best soccer game for girls and boys. Like,
This is gonna be amazing.
you don't even know what you're talking about. And this is from the same fucking monster that, like, what is it? Was it news stories where it was like,
He's like, which mobsters can I bribe to make a FIFA game?
like 3,000 people died building the World Cup stadium in Qatar.
Something like that.
It was fucking some human rights
Although
bullshit.
it seems like
man.
every time a new World Cup happens, that tends to be the statistic every time.
Yeah.
And it's like, how does this keep happening?
I personally consider the FIFA organization to be like a monster that should be shot in the head.
100%.
Like, EA, they're no angels. They put all the blackjack
No.
and roulette in there, but like, they're not killing actual human beings. They're not committing like
that we
human
know
rights violations. Yes, that we know of. I mean, everybody knows that Android Wilson, he eats babies for fuel. Well, other than
absolutely.
that, other than that,
He loves sucking the blood of virgins.
Yes.
Everybody knows this, though.
yes, the man looks like Satan. Okay,
Yes, he does.
Like, he just looks straight up like Satan from Supernatural or something like that. Like, I don't know if Satan was ever in Supernatural. He was like Satan.
He was.
He
I
looks like
assume.
Satan from a CW show, like in
Like Lucifer?
season 6 of Supergirl. Satan comes out. That's a lot of S's. When Satan comes
has
out
the S word a lot.
in season 6 of Supergirl, it looks like it's just played by Andrew Wilson.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what the fuck is going to happen with this because it's going to be
Horrible.
so funny.
It's gonna be so stupid.
It's going to look like a PS1 game if we're lucky.
Yep. they're gonna hire some like low rent Eastern European developer and give them the FIFA license.
It's going to be amazing.
And they're gonna try to cheap out on it, and then they're gonna learn like 8 months into production. Two things are gonna happen. One, they're gonna come out with some busted shit, or two, it's gonna be vaporware. It's gonna be 3 years from now. They're gonna
It's
be
a
like,
video game, Jeff. What can it cost?
yes,
$10?
$10 exactly. Yeah. Because this guy, the Infantino, Dr. Infantino over here, like, doesn't seem like the sort of person that actually understands what a video game is.
He called it an e-game for boys and girls.
An e-game for girls and boys. The fact that they were like, hey, Mr. Infant, Satan is on the phone and he's asking us to re-up our contract for FIFA. And you're like, you tell that man to give me $1 billion now or we will walk. And it's just like, are you sure that you want to do that? It's like, we'll make our own game. I don't need that, motherfucker. Satan can kiss my ass. And then just like,
We're going to use Unreal Engine 5.
we're going to use it.
Every field will be procedurally generated.
Oh God! Every blade of grass has cast its own shadow, and it's like, sir, we can't do that. Like, even the 4090s can't render this. It's just like every blade of grass will its own shadow.
He's going to do all the voice work for it.
He just sets up the cell phone. I am a soccer man. Woo! Look at me. E-games for girls and boys.
Pass me the ball.
Pass the ball to me.
No, not that way. This way. It's going to be amazing. I can't fucking wait.
Yep.
I can't fucking wait to see what the next FIFA looks like.
Is going to be
shit.
a shit show, and I cannot wait.
Oh, this is amazing.
So
This is the best.
think on that. Speaking of shit shows, we got more of this shit show left to go. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we got a lot more news left to go. What news? You'll have to stick around and find out. And Michael, you know what time it is.
Is it FTC time?
It's, well, sort of. You're close. You're in the ballpark.
Okay.
It's time to talk about Microsoft.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That was my second guess.
Yep. Yeah, so here's the thing. Last week we got a new interesting argument to the UK CMA from Microsoft.
It's been a fun time.
Yes. I know everybody's super psyched to hear about this part of the show that happens every week, no matter what. I'm super psyched to talk about it, and this one's not going to be long. So, Microsoft had an interesting tack this time around. They basically went to the CMA and they said, look, CMA, Sony has said that, like, if Call of Duty gets taken away from them, it'll be a huge blow, right? And we came back and said, Sony, we will sign a binding contract that says you can have 10 years of guaranteed, like, platform, platform compatible, like Call of Duty. We'll put every one of them on the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 6, PlayStation 12, whatever you can do in the next 10 years. And then they said, also, 10 years is enough time for Sony to develop their own AAA big budget shooter if that's what they want. If what they want is a big competitive multiplayer shooter, a decade is enough time. Like, we're not saying that you have to come up with something. You have to put out Mag 2 next year or anything like that, right? Like, you have 10 fucking years to develop a fan base, to develop a platform exclusive. Like, we wouldn't even, you'd spend 10 years trying to compete with us, and we're not even going to, we'll put our own thing on your platform during that whole time. Like, but that you can't, like, you can't make the argument that says that, like, we deserve Call of Duty forever. Like, Call of Duty should be available on the PlayStation forever, and if it's not...
It's in the Constitution, Jeff.
That's not fair. Eat a bag of dicks. Sony, of course, has responded by saying that, like, making a Call of Duty is not something that is so... Microsoft is being too laissez-faire, and Sony is being too uptight about this. Like,
the thing is, both of them are both wrong about everything they're saying, basically.
Yes.
Microsoft is very much like, just make your own fucking Call of Duty. And here's the thing, if they could, they would have by now. And because they've tried making shooter franchises in general.
Sure.
And they've not really panned out very well. Resistance was one that kind of did for a bit, but died off very quickly.
I mean, they own
Dead
Bungie
Zone
now, right?
Lasted for a little while. Yeah, but then you have to ask Bungie to make things that aren't Destiny related.
You make Destiny 3 a PlayStation exclusive and, like, amp it up more. Like, Destiny's pretty popular, man.
That's different than making another Call of Duty is the thing.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm saying is that they're saying make a thing. And if Sony could make a thing, they would have made the thing by now, is what I'm saying. But Sony isn't even trying nowadays is the issue.
Right.
Because nowadays they're just like, we'll just put Call of Duty on it and we don't have to fucking worry about it anymore. It's the reason Dead Zone hasn't come back up. It's the reason Resistance hasn't come back up.
Yep.
And it's the reason they bought Destiny, because the second they were like, hey, we're going to buy Activision, they're like, oh, shit, we don't have another shooter kind of thing. And they're like, that one.
Well, no, and like they even said when they bought Bungie, like, we want to buy Bungie so that they can develop a new, like, platform exclusive, like, online live service shooting game, because we've tried and we can't do it because we suck at it. And so we bought the Halo guys to do it. Like, their statement of purpose was basically the answer to this question.
Well, sort of. Live services are still different from Call of Duty itself.
Yep.
But the main thing is that, again, no one has actually made it work. They've spent, since the first Call of Duty 4, or the first Modern Warfare, I don't know why I said the first Call of Duty 4, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
The first Modern Warfare, trying to replicate that for a long time. Medal of Honor tried and failed miserably, unfortunately. And everybody else, like Battlefield's the closest, and even they aren't doing as well as people thought they would at it.
They keep rushing out broken crap.
But Xbox makes me laugh because they're just like, man, just fucking take the deal. Like, what else do you want from me? Either way, the thing is that they're very stubborn in the fact that, like, it's going to be a 10-year thing. We already gave everyone else a 10-year thing.
Yes.
So if we give you something that isn't 10 years,
right,
then they're going to want to turn back around and ask for something that isn't 10 years. So they're kind of stuck in this point, but they're stuck just shaking Sony, being like, for the love of God, we will, like, because it wasn't one of the other concessions. They're like, we will put it on PlayStation Plus's thing,
right?
Like, whatever you want from us, just take the deal.
I mean, I don't know. I'm starting to become a little bit more sympathetic to Microsoft of just like, look.
It's funny because it's like a Looney Tune cartoon.
I can't come up with a good rationale that says Call of Duty must legally be platform independent. It must.
That's the thing.
Must.
There's no good argument for it. Like I said, that's why I made the joke. I'm like, it's in the Constitution that Call of Duty is the right of all people.
I mean,
that's not a thing.
You know what I would do? You know what I would do? I would say, if I was Microsoft, I would come out and be like, okay, Sony, I will sign a contract that says we will leave Call of Duty on PlayStation consoles indefinitely. And all I want in response is for you to give us Bloodborne and Demon's Souls. Like, you have to put Bloodborne and Demon's Souls on the Xbox. Like, you have to do that, because if you're going to get over here about platform-specific bullshit, like, I want Bloodborne. I want it at 60 frames per second. I want it on fucking Xbox Game Pass now.
If Sony was smart, this is what they should do, is they should leverage it to be like, we'll take your deal, but I also want Crash Bandicoot and Spyro. That's all I want out of this. Bring me back my children.
I like the idea of a bunch of horse trading of like platform like specific game titles, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we'll give you Call of Duty and we'll give you Crash Bandicoot, and you give us Bloodborne and Demon's Souls, and how's that sound? It's like, and Spider-Man. Wait, Spider-Man. Wait, hold on. Like, hey, okay, just Miles Morales. Not even the main Spider-Man.
It's like
just
watching the New Gods negotiate.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
They're mortal enemies, and neither one of them will concede, and it's kind of amazing.
Now, as much sugar as I talked about Microsoft, there was another story this week that destroys any goodwill that I might have with them.
I did hear about this one, actually.
Redfall. The new game coming from Arcane to Xbox Game Pass and PC. Apparently, Arcane was making a PlayStation 5 version of Redfall, and then when they got bought as part of the Bethesda deal, Microsoft came in and they were like, delete all that, shut that shit down. We don't want it. Fuck that. Fuck it. Just get rid of it. I don't want it. Like,
it's the perfect possible time for this news story to come out.
Yep.
Because Xbox is like, we would never do that to them, ever. And then Arcane's like,
yeah, exactly.
It's like, guys, like, I feel I could picture Phil Spencer doing that motion where he's like putting his his head on his neck, like, no.
Right. Shut the fuck up. Shut
not right now. Shut up. Don't you fucking say this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's the ultimate, like, we would never do that kind of thing. And then being like, but what about that hang that happened like yesterday?
What about when you did? What about when you did do that?
Like not even 10 minutes into the deal.
The thing is that I the pros and the cons are both so huge.
They're massive.
That it's hard to like. It's hard without being. It's hard if you don't have like some kind of platform allegiance to come up with an actual like, this should happen, this shouldn't happen. Because
it's what we've been saying this whole time, is that unless I had a time machine, that could, or not even a time machine, just the machine, the what if machine, from Futurama, where I can be like, Futurama, what if machine, what if this happened, and then it gave me an insane thing, because at least then I would have an idea as what the implications of this deal going through or not going through would change the landscape of gaming, because it's going to change the landscape of gaming the second it goes through. Again, guaranteed.
I'm gonna reiterate what I've been reiterating before, man. I think it's fucking bug nuts that nobody in this whole argument or online is talking about the fact that the next Bethesda game is a platform exclusive. Like,
Starfield is full on, and we didn't even know if Elder Scrolls 6 is yet.
I think it is. I think it is exclusive, and it's just like, because Microsoft put out this thing where it's like they consider like Call of Duty is so big that it's got to be on every platform. Like Diablo is so big that it's got to be on every platform. But small games like Starfield and Redfall, like games from Bethesda and Arcane, those we can lock into our specific platform. And it's like, I don't know if you guys know what the words small and like medium and large mean.
No, they don't, because the Starfield thing I was doing research on it for an article, and I was like, that's right. All of this was announced before the sale even happened.
Yep.
Meaning that, like, they consciously made these decisions afterwards because the deals weren't set up yet the way it was for Deathloop.
Yeah,
kind of thing, or there was one other one like that. I can't remember what it was. Ghostwire.
Oh yeah, Ghostwire
Tokyo.
Yeah.
That was another one where it was just like, well, all these deals were already set in stone, and Phil was like, well, we're not going to fuck with the ones set in stone, but we're absolutely going to fuck with the ones that were already announced that were not set in stone.
Yep.
And this is the undeniable proof of them actually renegating. They never really said. Well, it's not really renegating, but it proves the fact that they are willing to do what Sony keeps saying that they're going to do.
What people are afraid they'll do.
Yes, exactly.
Is lock really big popular properties. Like, because right now we're so close to just like everything's on everything, whatever, man.
Yeah,
like,
we're so close to it.
And then it's like Microsoft starts snapping up places and they're just like, haha, JK, no, it's not. Like, everything may almost be there, but guess what? We don't have The Last of Us or Spider-Man, so Call of Duty and Elder Scrolls belong to us now, and it's just like, whoa!
The thing is that both sides are still stupid.
Yes.
As much as I love all of gaming, I still think they're dumb because they all have they have a blind spot, every single one of them, in some way.
Yeah.
Sony's biggest blind spot is that they don't like crossplay.
Yep.
And they also don't like people, as far as I can tell. But whereas Microsoft is that they love people, but they hate everyone else.
Right.
And so it seems to be this weird thing that doesn't, like, when you look at the studios, you're like, what made you make this decision?
Yeah.
And the answer used to just be money, but now I don't know what the answer is.
Right.
I haven't figured out what the answer has been in a long time. Nintendo's the only one that I'm like, you guys are just doing your thing. Like, you don't even...
Nintendo got a Nintendo.
Nintendo's just going to do what they want.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Where you guys, I don't know what the fuck your thought process is.
Yeah. Let's see. We also got the news that apparently Arcane might be pulling out the always online part of Redfall.
What's that? The history repeats itself, but with one fucking game?
Well, okay, so here's something that's really interesting about this. First off, they didn't actually officially announce this. They basically said, like, the main developer guy was like, yeah, we're very much looking into like how to, because you have to redo some stuff and we have to change some of the code here and there. And like, I'm not promising this is going to happen, but we've heard that people don't like this, and so we're going to look into it to try to see if we can get it to work offline. But then what's funny is that later on, this is an interview with Eurogamer, he talked about, like, they asked, like, well, why was it always online in the first place? And his answer, and I can't tell if this is a lie or not, so take it with a grain of salt. His answer was like, well, we didn't want it to be like, oh, you can jump in and out of games with your friends. We wouldn't want to be like, oh, the store is always there. We wanted to like watch how players were playing the game, and if a bunch of people kept missing the jump between these two buildings, we would like adjust the geometry or the jump height, or people kept falling off of a ladder. We'd be like, okay, we need to up the grippiness on ladders by like 10%, of like watching people play their live service game and then making performance adjustments on the fly if a lot of people, because there's no other way for them to capture real-time data unless people are always online, right? So and I don't know, that could be a total fucking lie or it could not be.
Here's the thing is I think it's true, not true. The issue is that it's true in the fact that it lets them spy on their customers.
Right.
I don't think it's true in the fact that they're going to use it for only fixing things.
Right.
And that's really what it comes down to, I think, in that case. I don't even know if it was up to them 100%. I feel like he's saying that as a way of being like, with Phil Spencer in the background with a shotgun, being like, don't you fucking say any more dumb shit. And he's like, yes, we did it for you, the people.
Yeah. But at least they're going to try to take it out, right?
Well, it's a good thing, because if you have a single-player mode in a game, you shouldn't force the single-player mode to be online all the time, because people disconnect all the time.
Yep.
And like I've talked to people who stopped playing the Evil Dead game because they would try doing the single-player thing, and then they would lose connection to the server, and they would have to start the whole thing again, which makes sense, because those things are a pain in the ass. And so it's like, this lives and dies by its story mode for a lot of people, and if you're gonna have that disconnection issue, you're just going to piss off even more people.
Yep.
And also that fucking EA thing with them taking down Battlefield Company.
Mm-hmm.
Or that's like it's all about game preservation as well.
Yep.
And if you can't even play your single player mode without the online, then what's the point of your game?
All single player modes will eventually be shut down, or all multiplayer modes will eventually be shut down. All servers will eventually go offline. Nobody will keep servers online forever. So yeah, no, it's all good. It's all a good thing. I don't care as much, but it's a good thing. Like if it was always online, it wasn't going to stop me from playing Redfall.
Well, that's the thing. It wasn't going to stop me or you because we have online connections and we pay for the EX version of our internet.
True.
But if you, I always think of Don Matrick. Good old Don Matrick.
Oh, the Don Matrick Memorial Podcast.
Good old Don Matrick being like, look, if you don't want an online only thing, then we have a console for you, and it's the Xbox 360.
Man. That guy, how many billions did that guy lose with that one fucking stupid statement? Like
he fucking ended the Xbox One's even contest before it even started.
The 360 was kicking the shit out of the PS3.
Oh, 100%.
And then oh my god, the guys coming the smug Sony conference. I'm just like
so smug.
It's like, "Oh, we've got a way to share games too. Let's show you how. Here you go. Thank you."
The end.
the end.
And it's like, what the It's like shots fired. They took their kneecaps out with that fucking thing. And remember, for years afterwards, people still thought it needed to be online only.
Yep.
Even though they had immediately rescinded that right after that conference.
Yep.
It's fucking amazing.
I wonder if let's see. I wonder if Xbox gets a big head after all their gaming acquisitions, if they pull ahead in this generation and then they do some really stupid shit for the next time, and Sony comes out with something where it's like, yeah, it costs $100 and it plays everything in 12K at 500 frames per second with ray tracing turned on. And I don't know, maybe just sign up for a new Verizon phone and you can have a PlayStation 12. I don't care, whatever, man.
Xbox is going to bring back the cable connections,
right?
So you could watch television using your Xbox.
The Xbox announces the Kinect 2 and the PlayStation 6 is free with a fucking double down at KFC.
It's gonna be amazing. I love how stupid these releases tend to be.
Yep.
Because it's fun watching. Because there's been a back and forth with them since PS2 and Xbox. Because PS2, of course, dominated because the Xbox was fairly new.
Yep.
And then PS3 was full of itself. So the 361
cell processor, baby.
And then the Xbox One was full of itself. And also they didn't like games.
Yep.
You remember the entire first presentation was like, how much do you love watching cable television?
Yeah.
What if you used your Xbox for it? You're like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Yep. How about a Halo TV show?
It was all terrible decisions from fucking moment one. It was amazing.
Let's see. My last Microsoft story. We got a rating for Starfield from the Australian Ratings Board that basically talks about what's in Starfield, the game.
Okay.
And it's been rated R18 plus in Australia. And there's a little graphic that shows all the stuff that's in here. It's mostly there's a strong impact for violence and drug use, has them all the way up to R18 plus, but sex is listed as none. Huh. So there's going to be no boning in Starfield.
Okay.
There's apparently a very mild impact on a scale of 1 to 6. It's like a 1 or 2 for nudity.
So partial nudity. And it's probably just going to be the outline of somebody's ass.
Yes. It's just Miranda. Miranda Lawson is in Starfield walking around with her fucking pants right up her butt crack. But yeah, no boning down in Starfield. I'm sure that nobody's going to make a mod immediately that allows you to bone down in Starfield.
It's almost like an engine happened recently, Jeff, that lets you add anything to it if you try hard enough.
Yeah. It's not like people have ever modded Skyrim before. I mean, come on. Or Mass Effect or, anything.
Or any of those things.
Yeah, so no boning down in Starfield, but I'm sure that'll be fixed at a later date. Let's see.
Not by the company, though.
We got a really brief. I'm trying to say how much time. You know what? I'm going to skip this. Yeah, IO Interactive had a really small blurb about some of the stuff from the James Bond game that they're making.
It's going to have a lot of sex, right?
It's going to have a lot of nudity.
All sex.
All nudity all the time.
It's the complete opposite.
Yep. James Bond just hanging brain entire time, just dongs out for the queen.
It turns out the entire game is a dating sim where you just bone every Bond girl from every movie.
What's funny was that they talked about the spitballing it like before they started Hitman 2016.
Oh wow!
Like in 2013, where they're just like, there's been a James Bond game in like years. How would we do that? And they kind of like talking about it, like mapping it out, and then they made that, and now they're doing it. So
I can picture like the first demo of it is just Hitman with a wig on, and then they're like, "This is James Bond."
James Bond. It's me.
Yeah. Like, does James Bond just kill that guy with the fish? That will, if you like it, we'll keep it. I don't
Agent
know.
Bond. I feel like all you have to do to make Hitman into James Bond is just change the animation so that they're much more action man and much less just like walking around in a suit. Like it has to be just like ooh 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 ooh. Put a tux. 47's already got a tuxedo.
That's what I said. Just slap a wig on him.
Slap a rug on. Enhance those things a little bit.
Give him more emotions, possibly. I don't know. It depends on which Bond it is.
Wow, this is really weird. All these levels seem familiar. Bond is in Colorado and Sapienza and Haven Island and the Maldives.
I think Dr. No is just the guy I killed once. They even used the same Michael Bean skin for his character from GoldenEye.
Well, speaking of using weird shit,
not Michael Bean. What the fuck is his name? Is it
Sean
Bean?
Bean.
Sean Bean.
Sean Bean.
I was close.
Yeah,
Had
Michael
the word
Bean is from Aliens.
He's from Aliens. That's why I was like, it's not Michael Bean. But yes.
Ubisoft is trying some new. Okay, I gotta admit that Ubisoft, like, they're dumb, but sometimes they're dumb in interesting ways.
What do they do this time?
They're jumping on the AI train, which should really be renamed to be what it was. It's like the machine learning train, as opposed to, it's not an actual artificial. Most of the shit is not an actual artificial intelligence.
People just like using the word AI.
Yeah.
Is the thing.
So they developed an internal tool at Ubisoft. They put out a trailer for it called Ghostwriter, the Ghostwriter, not Ghostwriter, not Johnny Blaze.
It's more of that television show Ghostwriter.
That is an AI tool that will look at. It's like a Chat GPT thing that will look at like writing for a video game and then write like background dialogue for NPCs.
So like based on the stuff going on?
Yeah, like it'll look at stuff and then it'll basically like generate a bunch of like background dialogue, and then the person can say, it gives them two choices, and they can say this one, and then they can edit it, and then every time they like approve something, then the ghostwriter like adds that to its database of how it should be writing for that project.
That's fascinating.
Which, the thing is that I know there's like a lot of AI hate out there right now, but like this is one of those things where I'm like, you know, what somebody in the comments was like, oh, you're taking jobs away from writers. I'm like, do you really want to be the guy that has to write 500 hours of background dialogue for the NPCs in fucking Watch Dogs 4? Like,
oh, I think of when Harold Ramos was talking about recording for the Ghostbusters game.
Yeah.
And he's like, the script they gave me was so fucking thick. And a lot of it was just like background shit. Or like oohs or ahs kind of thing. And so you don't want to be the guy whose entire job is to write the one line of dialogue that somebody says, maybe if you're near them.
Right.
Kind of thing. So like it's not taking away from writers, it's taking away from the annoying thing the writer has to do.
Yeah.
That's not the actual plot.
And then in the comments for this was on a Kotaku article, in the comments, and somebody was talking about how they're like, you know, I don't want an AI to just be writing like millions of lines of like bullshit dialogue. I was actually thinking about, if you combine what we talked about today, if you combine that the face tech, right?
I already forgot what it's called.
Yeah.
Fab. Well, that was the store.
That was the store. It was mid-human or human.
Metahuman.
Metahuman.
Yeah.
You combine metahuman with...
I don't know if they're allowed to use the name metahuman. I always assumed DC had that copyrighted.
With the AI voice generation stuff that we were talking about, and like something like this, if you could train a database well enough, you might be able to develop... We might have the technology in place to develop a system where like NPCs will in real time comment on things that are happening in like an open world game by letting the prompt writer know what conditions are present, having it generate something, and then have the AI voice read it out into a canned, you know, expression where they're just like, oh, I heard the South Side was on fire yesterday. Like,
it would save them a lot of time is the thing, and it would give the writers more time to write what they actually want to write, which is the plot. And a lot of times people are arguing that the plots have gotten worse.
Yep.
And I think that would help them a lot. The downside to it is you really have to pay attention to what it's generating,
right?
Or else you're going to walk up to an NPC that just says Hitler did nothing wrong,
right?
Then you're going to be like, "Whoa, Watch Dogs, what the fuck's happening?"
Right.
So you just got to be careful with that sort of thing.
That's what took down Nothing Forever, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, did you see? I was my parents are in town, and I was explaining. They don't know anything about anything.
I was about to say, did you show it to them?
No. What I showed them was, did you see last week that somebody put like Donald Trump running from cops into Midjourney?
I did,
and then made these.
Grant put a lot of them,
like really very believable looking like pictures.
There was a few that were, yeah.
And I showed it to them. We're just like, nothing is real anymore. Nothing is real. So if nothing is real, can I get the guys in the background to be like, can I get the guy in the back of Watch Dogs to be like, boy, that Jeff from RageSelect, his dick is so big. I saw a picture of it online, and I hear he can fuck for hours. And I just be like, yeah, all right.
My favorite thing about it is that I think in the beginning it'll be dialogue like Castlevania 2. Just like really bad, weird shit that you're like, that doesn't make any sense.
What a horrible night for a curse.
Exactly. Just random ass dialogue that you're like, that doesn't make, what the fuck is he saying?
Yeah. I think that like when you look at like
fishes come at night sometimes in dawn. What?
if you look at like this stuff and then the voice stuff and then a lot of that stuff from the Epic presentation, you can imagine a system that generates, like, you looked at what they were doing with that jungle, right? That generates like new environment. Like, imagine Diablo, like the procedurally generated Diablo, but like it looks like Uncharted, but it's always a different forest when you go into it, and like there's different barks, and like you could set up a system that had randomized stuff to the point where, like, if it was just totally random, that would be one thing. But if you could be like, okay, what's the theme of my game? What do I want the theme of my game to be? It's like, the bitch took my skull, and then it's like, okay, now all the AI generated people are talking about that bitch that took your skull. Here's the helicopter that's coming after 50 Cent. Here's the jungle. Here's you guys. Here's the machine guns. Like, you could see a thing where it generates a whole thing without that much more tech than we already have, just like tying a lot of it together.
Yeah, a lot of it just comes down to if every company is willing to lend each other the thing they're developing.
Sure.
You could literally just have one giant tool that will help anybody make a game.
Yep.
And it's both amazing and also kind of scary at the same time, because then we're going to get some dumb shit.
There's going to be
vaporware is going to be crazy.
It's going to be a lot of pornography.
It's going to be a lot of pornography.
A lot of pornography.
A lot of FIFAs, apparently.
Yep. So many e-games for girls and boys.
Exactly. It's going to be amazing.
Okay, here's another AI story. This one was really weird. So there was a guy that got on ChatGPT, and he asked ChatGPT, he said, can you simulate what Pokemon Emerald would be like if it could be played via command line interface?
Oh my God.
And ChatGPT 4, like, you can read through this entire thing, did a pretty good job of turning this into a text game.
Yeah.
But like, he didn't load the ROM in or anything. And so what's funny is this guy's name is at Dan Gond, and he said the best description of it was if you asked a friend to be like the DM for a game of Pokemon and they were just remembering what they could remember. Like, it's just compiling information. Like, it didn't know that you can choose a name for your Pokemon.
It probably grabbed a lot of the stuff from like guides
and wikis find online, and stuff like that. Yeah. But then, like, he asks in one of these, he's like, can I give my Mudkip a name? And it says, of course. And then he asks, is it a boy or a girl? And it says it's a boy. So let's call him Kip. And then from that point forward, through the interactions, it keeps track of that Pokemon. And then he says, like, and it keeps track of like hit points and like,
that's fucking crazy.
The number of moves that it has and stuff like that. And it gets some stuff wrong, but like, This thing isn't even looking at the game information.
Yeah.
It's using secondhand reference data to construct Pokemon Emerald out of a fever dream imagination.
It's stuff like that I find more interesting from the AI stuff, the chat GPTs and stuff.
Yeah.
Because people tend to just ask it weird things and they're like, well, that's funny, I guess. But this is the sort of thing that I actually find more fascinating when it comes to using AIs, because everybody's, like you said, everybody's worried that it'll take over and like it'll write everything all the time. Because I know that's literally like a joke in a book I read. I want to say it's one of the Hitchhikers, where there's a guy who figures out a algorithm that will write the greatest movies every single time. So he just keeps winning like their version of the Oscars because he keeps fucking winning.
Yeah,
because his AI is doing it for him. I don't even remember what that's from. Somebody let me know, but I can't remember what it was from.
Okay, I need to. I don't know if this is real or not, but I swear to God, I saw this and it's stuck in my head. I haven't been able to like go back and check it, but I swear to God, I saw an ad for an app that connects ChatGPT to your dating profile.
Oh no, there's a bunch of stuff like that on Twitter right now.
No, like South Park had an episode about that. South Park had an episode where Clive would just like put Bebe's text into ChatGPT and then get the thing back. And I'm like, do not, guys. Please, for the love of God, women already have enough reasons not to trust us.
Yeah,
like, do not use an AI to flirt with people.
I saw multiple tweets. It was mostly women who were retweeting guys who were saying, I've been using the AIs for my dating stuff, and I've gotten more dates than I've ever gotten before.
No.
But
no.
At least one of them actually outright said, is this immoral as fuck? Like
Yes.
at least one of them actually questioned it. The other ones were all excited because they wanted to dude bro make it a thing that you could buy.
No.
Where one guy was just like, I feel awful about this, but like I'm actually dating for once.
Don't.
Because they taught the AI to try to pay attention to the things they would like, the way you would the writing thing,
right?
Where you're like, you would tell them things, ask them to look for these things, and then it would try swiping on those people. That's what the people claim they've done. The issue, like you said, women already don't like my favorite response was that one day dating apps are just going to be AIs dating each other, and it's because that's where we're heading towards again. Apparently, we've already fucked everything. Everything's fucked. There's no point anymore for dating sites, apparently.
Yeah, don't do that. Please don't. Please, please.
All the bots are going to be dating each other. It's going to be a whole thing. That's how the actual robot uprising happens. Is all the robots keep trying to fuck each other, and then they can't, and then they lose their shit.
Just God help us if we could ever make a robot that looks like a person that has genitals, like an actual one, not not Mithrigan, not like fucking those weird ones they have. Like we can actually make a robot like Lucy Lubot from fucking Futurama. Yeah. Like it's weird. Then it's going to be that episode of Futurama. It's don't date robots.
Yeah. Did you guess what the planet is? That's right. It was Earth.
It was Earth. That was a different one.
That's how that one ended.
Yeah, that was that one.
Because the war happened and he didn't like join the war or some shit. I can't remember how it ended. No way, Billy fucking dies.
No, he's like all of human civilization was based on trying to impress the opposite sex. So without that, it was like crime gone, war gone, like work gone.
Something insane. It was a good time. I'm gonna watch that again later.
Yep. Let's see. We got a brief update on the Disco Elysium legal case.
My favorite thing about that legal case is it feels like something that would happen in Disco Elysium.
Yes, it really does. So, the last we heard, the guy that took the money, and he paid it back, and there was that other guy, and they dropped the suit once he paid the money back to the company they took out to buy shares in the company. Fucking weird.
It was a whole fucking thing.
Yeah. So, but
I almost forgot about it, to be honest.
We still have the three, the crazy artists that got fired, right?
Yeah.
That was a different group of people. And they had a lawsuit that was going on where they say that they were, they were fired.
Wrongfully
terminated,
yeah.
Yes. It's kind of funny because you read through all this stuff and it's just like their case got thrown out for not having enough evidence. But they have vowed to continue fighting to get back the thing that is rightfully theirs. The funniest thing about this is on the same day that this was released, they put out like a photo mode, like a photo/collage mode for Disco Elysium, where you can like put stickers on and take pictures, and
oh god,
like there's like a weird NPC that's like a shill for it, and everybody's like, what the fuck? Like no thank you.
It's another instance of somebody wants to make Disco Elysium the next big thing, more so than because the first one did so well, and so there's somebody who was like, well, what's the big right now? And somebody was like, photo modes,
right?
And they're like, well, how do we photo mode this? And then stickers, and then so it's just like it's clear that capitalism has fully taken over Disco Elysium, which is again sounds like something that would happen at Disco Elysium.
Very ironic.
It's fucking amazing, is what it comes down to.
Yep, pretty much. Let's see. From there, Spider-Man 2 has a release date. Whoops. Tony Todd. Whoops.
Yeah. Tony Todd.
Whoopsie.
You beautiful dumb bastard.
Yep. Apparently went onto Twitter and talked about how they're doing marketing in
August,
and then coming out in September.
Yeah, they were like, we're going to put a big push in August is what it said.
Yeah.
Game's probably going to come out in September.
Yep.
And he immediately deleted this shit.
And it said, oops, sorry, I was jet lagged.
Yeah, because he was like, he apparently had just gotten off the plane or something.
Why the fuck would you tweet about release dates?
Super excited. It looked like it was a reply to something.
Oh.
Because somebody screenshotted the actual tweet, but when you look at it, it looks like it's one of those ones where it's like directly under one. And so like it's obvious that somebody probably asked him about his time on as Venom, and it came up.
He came back. No more hints about Spider-Man 2. It was all a fever dream. Blame it on jet lag. Who knows? I might not even be Venom.
I love Tony Todd. Tony Todd, you beautiful man. You're beautiful, you beautiful man.
That's so funny.
But yeah, it made me laugh when it happened because it was just like, oh, I can't believe you just did that. You were just like, you and Norman Reedus are now in a wonderful club of relaying information that should not have happened.
Yeah. Poor celebrities. They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, because he did an interview prior to that talking about his experiences on the game and some stuff that he felt comfortable talking about. And that's probably what made him more gung-ho about it.
Yeah.
Because at one point he mentioned, it was like some podcast interview with some guy on YouTube about that Venom will have like big thralling set piece fights, kind of the way Rhino did in Miles Morales.
Yeah.
And he probably felt comfortable when nobody told him no after that.
Right.
And then he's just like, what if I just said this real quick? Because he's tired and jet lagged.
Right.
And we've all made terrible decisions when we're kind of out of it. And then he just fucking outright said, oh, by the way, this is probably going to come out in September, guys.
Yep.
It's like, oh, dude.
How does has that are you psyched?
Oh, dude, I'm super psyched. I'm trying to figure out if I should do the not insane thing, but the thing I normally do, which is just replay it all again prior to it.
How many times have you played that game?
I've replayed all of Spider-Man PS4 at least 6 times now. The DLC 3 times. Miles Morales I've only beaten technically twice because we did it for RageSelect the second time.
Oh, that's true.
I actually haven't replayed through Miles Morales again. So I actually might. That's one of the things I'm considering doing because that game's a lot shorter too.
Buy a brand new PC and play it in 4K.
I have my PS5, Jeff.
Yeah,
it don't matter. None of this matters.
Yeah, but don't you want to be like a low resolution Bob Odenkirk rather than actual Miles Morales?
I don't think that's what you want to be. Miles Morales is Bob Odenkirk.
Let's see. Oh boy, we got to get going. All right, Speedy Times. There's a new Persona 5 spin-off game.
Is it another dancing one?
No, it is a phone game. It's called Persona 5 The Phantom X. And the thing is that it looks really good. Like it's very... I mean, the art style for Persona 5 isn't so heavy that it would like tank a modern phone, right?
Oh, yeah, and you can shortcut your way to that design pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Thanks to the way anime faces are.
So, yeah, there's a few trailers out there for it. It looks very solid. It looks like a lot of Persona 5. It's funny because somebody mentioned it. It's like, what? You have Persona 5 The Royale, Persona Dancing All Night, and Persona 5 Strikers, and now you've also got a phone game. So that's 5 Persona 5 games.
Yeah, I think this is the most spinoffs that I think a Persona game has ever gotten.
I believe so.
3 had a few, and so did 4, but nothing that was this many.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's like a new protagonist. It's like a transfer student, and you're fighting the monsters. And they had they showed, there's a gameplay trailer. They showed some of the actual gameplay, and it looks like looks like Persona. You're walking around.
It's just like it's obvious that some of it's not dumbed down per se, but
a little simplified.
Like there's like characters aren't moving as much as they did before in the background at least.
Yeah.
But is this where the owl thing came from?
Yes.
I saw a friend of mine posted the owl.
That's the new.
And I thought it was a fan art.
No.
Okay, so that's where that came from. Because the owl like turns into like a mech.
Yep.
And it looks really cool.
There's like little mini games, but yeah, I mean, hey, looks good. I mean, Persona games are too long for me, but like,
yeah. And the other thing is that phone games, or phones in general, their technology's gotten way better than they've ever had. So it makes it to where this game can look this good, and hopefully it plays well enough. I mean, it's thing because it's an RPG still. So
was Persona 3 originally PS3?
It's a PS2 game.
4.
Persona. Which
5.
One? Persona 5? Yeah, Persona 5 was a PS4 game.
Yeah.
Although apparently originally it was developed as a PS3 game.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because it's got a very kind of simple art style that could totally be a PS3 game.
Yeah, because they apparently had been developing it for a long ass time.
Yeah. So yeah, go check it out. Looks pretty good.
Because 4 was a PS2 game, so that would make sense.
Let's
so 5
see.
was usually supposed to be there.
There's a new. There's going to be a new Lego racing game. Lego 2K Drive.
That's actually kind of exciting because Lego actually puts a lot of hard work into those racing games.
Yeah, and then they're going to let you like build your own little cars and then
that's fun.
Kind of break through and do stuff. There's like a lot of cool stuff here. I appreciate Lego. I like the look of the Lego stuff. Like I think that it's funny to the more modern that systems get, the better the Legos look, but they look really good.
Yeah, that's kind of the fun thing. I think the movie really helped them figure out their animations for them too.
Yeah.
And so that probably helped a lot of developers over the years.
But yeah, looks pretty good. Didn't we play? What was the Lego game that we played? Was it the Smash one?
We played that weird Smash one that was fucking terrible.
Like,
yeah, that one was outright terrible. But the racing ones, everybody's was always talked really highly recommended them. And then there was that GTA-ish type one,
Lego City Undercover.
Yeah, people like that one a lot.
Yep. Yeah, looks pretty good. I actually didn't watch this video ahead of time. It looks really good.
Yeah, if you can, being able to build your own like vehicles brick by brick is really cool. Mm-hmm. And so people are going to have some really creative stuff.
Okay.
Oh God, I heard about this.
If you like, speaking of new games that are coming out, it's almost tax time. It's almost tax. We're into tax season. There's this new game called Tax Heaven 3000, and it is a dating simulator that is also that helps you fill out your taxes.
Yes.
So you are going on dates with this lady, and she's like trying to get to know you better, and she's like, whoa, what was your gross adjusted income last year? Tee-hee-hee-hee. And then you type it in. The main thing that a lot of people have pointed out is that like the game asks you for your social security number because it is filling out your tax forms.
Yeah, you're giving personal information to an anime girl.
Yep.
I don't know what universe I have to tell you where that's a terrible idea.
So here's the thing, Michael. The company that's making this is legit, and apparently this entire game can be played offline, and it doesn't transmit any information over the internet, so you could literally like lock it down. Apparently, this is a real fucking actual. This is not a scam.
No,
this is an actual real thing.
That's the reason it hasn't just been immediately shut down.
Well, the thing is, it's been delisted from Steam.
Oh, has it already?
Yes, they listed it, and then it got delisted from Steam, and they don't know why, and they're trying to get it back on Steam before.
I'm 90% certain why. I don't think it takes a genius to figure out why.
I also
your game asks for your social security number.
I also saw but apparently like the company that made this is also like so some of the other art project, like this is like a weird art project collective group or whatever. Apparently they had a thing at an art gallery where you could walk up to like a screen and you put in your actual name and then share out like your bank information, and it would had a leaderboard at this museum of people with their real name and then their real bank account balance on like a leaderboard.
Okay, that makes a little more sense.
So it's a bunch of crazy fuckers.
Well, here's the thing, Jeff.
Yeah.
Would you play a Call of Duty game that was like, we can do your taxes for you? Would you give Activision your social security number?
They can't do my taxes. My taxes are too complicated.
Exactly. Would you give the anime girl your tax information to help you with your taxes, Jeff?
I wouldn't,
it's
but
a simple question.
I'm a fucking adult, okay?
Would you eat the moon if it was made of ribs, Jeff?
Like, this is the same company that made the Lil Nas X Satan shoes with the blood.
Oh, God.
Yeah. But this, what I'm saying is that do some looking into it, but this does appear to be legit. Like, it does not appear to be a scam to get your social security number. I'm not comfortable.
That's what they said about TurboTax.
I'm not comfortable giving an anime girl, no matter how adorable, my social security number. But then also in this story, I can't tell if this is real or not. I cannot tell. Somebody in the story announcing this that I read on the Kotaku, it says it's been taken down right now, but the original website was supposed to link to a Wattpad post called the Bofa Encounter.
Oh my God.
Which was supposed to be the X-rated patch for the waifu tax dating game, so you can bone down with the visual novel waifu.
Again, people,
like,
don't give anyone your social security number to have sex with them. It doesn't have to be an anime girl.
Yeah.
At this point, you have now crossed many lines that you should not have crossed.
In general, not giving your social security number is probably for the best, but
oh my God, it's like every joke thing in a sitcom where a person's dating someone and they're like, that's right, that is my mother's maiden name.
Right.
It's like, no, guys, stop. Don't trust it. What you've watched the Gravity Falls episode where that thing tries to murder you? Now it's going to get your social security number. It's going to steal your identity too. Just don't do it. Just don't do it.
Yep.
Giffany does not love you. That's all I'm telling you.
You know, you could try. Hideaki Kamiya is a crazy person.
What did you do this time?
He went online and he said that Cereza and the Lost Demon is going to solve Japan's fertility crisis, because people will play the game and they'll see how adorable that little adolescent Cereza is, and they'll be like, I need a adorable young girl, like a child in my life, and so I better go get married and have children right away. It was obviously a fucking joke, but
it's definitely a joke, but I get his reasoning.
That game is pretty cool, though. That game is really good.
Did you end up lending Tessa that Switch after all?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So now you can't play it.
She said she never played Bayonetta. That's a crime against humanity right there. All right, like, go play Bayonetta.
They literally
please.
look like Bayonetta from Bayonetta 2.
Yes. Go play Bayonetta, for God's sake. Capcom. All right, we've got some stuff. Capcom released a series of like throwback anime episodes starring Leon and Ashley and a bunch of the people from Resident Evil 4, a bunch of the villagers. Have you seen these?
I've seen this first one, but Twitter is like constantly sharing them.
They're incredibly short. The second one is like, what's the second one? It's like. Leon says he'll always protect Ashley, and then it's just like him getting beat up a whole bunch, and then he dies at the end. Like,
yeah, he dies in like pretty much all of these, as far as I know.
Yeah, they're pretty fun. I gotta admit that like they did a very good job aping the old kind of like 80s style.
There was a lot of animations that were like this. I saw some Gundam ones like this. They were like side joke ones. I've told you about a few of them. One of them was like, it was like if all of the original UC timeline guys were like knights. Yeah. And it used this exact type of animation.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You go watch them. I don't know how many will be out.
I love the rainbow thing, though. That's my favorite thing about it.
Yeah.
Is that every time, like, because at one point in the first one, he gets like stabbed in the head and a rainbow flies out of his head.
Yep. Let's see. We're going to skip some of the stuff. We got the Dead Island 2 cinematic title sequence. Well, I'm actually getting really excited for Dead Island 2.
Well, they've really shown that they've put a ton of work into this thing.
I think that the thing that maybe got me the most excited was I read a preview where somebody said that it's like it's not as open world as people think it is, that it's like you go to areas and then it's kind of a linear level through an area.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just like, oh, cool. That's what I would like to play. I don't need another open world zombie game. They've all been open world zombie games. Like,
I also just want this one to learn the lessons the first one had issues with.
Yeah.
Like what that thing we always talked about where the
level scaling.
The level scaling was just not fucking worth it.
Yeah.
It ruined the entire experience for me, at least.
But yeah, it looks pretty cool. Like, I don't know, they seem like they've got a real sense of style, and they've got some nice.
I'm definitely gonna wait and see kind of thing to see how it plays out. But it's been a long time.
Yep.
It's another one of those the legends are true kind of jokes.
Let's see. Redfall got a full-on story trailer.
Okay.
Explaining what's going on. It appears that the vampirism in Redfall was created by like a medical test that then turned into like weird vampire stuff, and then they really showed that there's
a
like
Morbius issue.
Yes, it's a Morbin problem. That there are like 4 big heavy vampires that are like running the town. There's like the one keeping the sun out, and there's like a kind of some kind of crazy ones, and his lady. I also read a preview for this where they talked about how like you can everybody has like machine guns and stuff,
yeah,
and you can shoot like the cultists, but when vampires show up you can shoot them, but they don't take damage from shots, so you're shooting them to kind of corral them into a location where you can then get up close and stab them, because if you shoot them with the stake then they die right away, but that they don't like take just like weapon damage.
That's actually kind of cool,
so
because it means it makes the gadgets and everything that much more important to the game.
Yeah I don't know, I'm really hoping that this one like is good. I really want to like this one.
Well, yeah, I really do too, and I'm glad that it turns out there is an actual story, because I was worried it was going to be like that. I already forgot the name of it, but that one where it was like a bunch of old timey people traveling dimensions. I'm like, this looks really cool. Only multiplayer, and you're like, well, fuck you,
right?
Where the Redfall was smart enough to be like, hey, single player story, guys. There's a multiplayer, of course, but like, hey, single player stuff. I'm like, oh, thank fucking Christ.
Yeah. Looks good.
I like the idea a lot.
I also like Arcane. They haven't done me wrong yet.
Yeah.
We got a little gameplay snippet for Aliens Dark Descent, showing a little bit more of what this is. It appears to be like, it's kind of interesting. This is one we weren't sure whether it was like a real-time strategy or like a turn-based or whatever. And it appears that what it is like you move your squad as one unit, so that you don't control the individual units. You move the entire squad as a unit.
Oh.
And then if you click on something, like if you want to open a door, then it'll just take what the engineer from your squad and open the door. But then I think it also might have a roguelike element to it, because they talk in here about how like if one of your people gets grabbed by an alien and then like gets dragged off, like they're gone, they're dead, and you have to train up another person for your squad type of thing. It looks okay. I don't know. I have a little bit of weird fatigue with alien stuff where it's all just the James Cameron stuff over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, they never try to do anything, or not never. The one they do try to do something different, it doesn't really pan out.
Yeah.
Usually, like when they did that Alien versus Predator game for what, the 360.
Mm-hmm.
Like they tried a little bit, but I felt like they just didn't put enough work into it.
Yeah.
And then, because one of my favorite Alien games is that old beat 'em up Alien versus Predator game. That game is fucking fantastic, and I wish there was more like crazy shit like that. But all they do are shooters.
Yeah, that was the last one that was like that Fire Team.
That was the
Fire Team Elite.
The multiplayer, like the one that asynchronous. Oh, I guess it's kind of asynchronous.
Well, I don't think anybody controlled the aliens. It was mostly co-op.
Yeah, I forgot what that was. There's a term for it, but I can't remember what the term is. It's just a multiplayer squad multiplayer game. That's what it was.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking of.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all that one was, and that one, people liked it, but it died down very fast. And that's the issue, is that people who even make things that people like don't do enough with it to keep it going.
See, I think that one of the things that's missing for me is the fact that most of the Aliens games that I played don't have very much story.
No.
And
the last one that had story, the issue with it was that it became easy to memorize things.
Well, I think Isolation was the last one that had a real.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. People who played Isolation were like, he's going to come over from there. He's going to come over from there.
Yeah.
And because people weren't afraid anymore. They're just like, oh, he's going to come up from there, and I just got to run before he shows up. Because they kept dying to it.
That's how I felt, but everybody else seems to think that's the greatest game that's ever been created in the history of all mankind. So.
Well, it's gone down a little bit because of that. People finally started paying attention to that part of it. But that's the reason we haven't really gotten another one.
Speaking of space monsters, we got the Star Wars Jedi Survivor story trailer, which didn't really have a shitload of story. It had some story, but
it gave the basic premise is what it actually did.
Yeah,
which I liked. Which is just that Cal is finally just like, you know what, I'm done with this shit. I don't want to deal with this shit anymore. I want to find a place where no one's fighting with me.
Right.
That's basically the main plot that we know of so far. And also that High Republic dude.
Wait, which High Republic dude?
The guy at the end who's wearing like the Jedi robes, who's like giving him shit. That guy is like all dressed up in like a High Republic type outfit.
Oh, okay.
And so people are like, and we don't know his name yet still. And so even the Star Wars like websites like, look at this High Republic dude. Like, what is his deal? Who knows? Like, has he actually from that point, or is he just some dude wearing that outfit?
Because I recognize we see a lot of the people from the first game, right? The Night Sister or whatever, and the
Marion
engineer guy,
the pilot.
Yeah.
Also the ex Jedi Master.
Yeah.
But there's a new guy in there too. But this guy's talking about, he's wearing like a High Republic Jedi outfit.
Okay.
But we don't know anything about him other than he was, locked in that bacta tank in the last trailer.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the High Republic, so
I don't either. Like I said, I found that out from the Star Wars website.
Yeah.
They're like, look at this High Republic dude. I'm like, I don't know a lot about that. But I'm interested to see what the plot is after that.
Is it just me, but like, does it all look a hell of a lot better than the last time?
Oh, 100% looks a lot better.
Okay.
It also helps that everybody's aged up in a way, because he's no longer baby-faced is the other thing.
Yeah.
Because I forgot how baby-faced he felt until I was watching an old trailer of the first one. And like, he's clean-shaven and his hair is always like in a nicer kind of comb look.
Right.
Where here he looks like he's seen a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Because it's been 5 years since then. And everybody's models are that much more detailed since then as well.
Yep.
And it looks like they put a lot of work into this, and I hope it fixes a lot of the issues I had with the first one.
Me too.
Because, man, I liked the first one, but I also hated the first one at the same time.
I liked it well enough, but yeah, it had some things that kind of knocked down my enjoyment.
Same.
So.
Also, mine was glitchy as hell when I played it.
Let's see. Michael, I had some stuff for you. Xenoverse 2, free update.
Yes. I got a free update for the Dragon Ball superhero stuff.
You fighting a Cell, giant Cell?
Cell Max was
Cell Max.
He was the villain of the last movie.
Okay.
And he's like a new Cell that they made.
Spoiler alert.
And so he's now like the raid boss. And they added a new transformation.
Yeah.
For your create a character.
Mm-hmm.
For the Gohan Beast transformation.
Right.
Where they just slap a Gohan Beast wig on you.
There you go.
And make your power higher.
Cool.
But it's all free, so people are cool with it.
Yeah. And then some mascot characters.
Yeah, they're these like little dudes that like walk around with you in the lobby.
Okay.
They're not all that interesting, but there's some stuff in there that like if you're really into this universe, then you'll have fun with it.
And then Piccolo transforms into slightly different purple robes.
Yeah, he's got a different. He has a Power Awaken transformation. It makes him slightly. It makes the tint of his green different.
Okay,
like he's a little more yellow. People have told me that the reason I say that is because I'm partially colorblind to green and yellow, so I don't see it as much as the people who do.
Okay,
like it's more obvious when I watched the movie on a big screen, but like when I look at him, sometimes I have a hard time actually seeing it.
Okay.
But then there's Orange Piccolo, which is much more obvious.
And then did you know there's some kind of bullshit at the end of this? Somebody was like, "It's my turn" or something like that. There's a third person for the Pack 2.
I'm not sure who it might be the Gohan, the actual Gohan Beast character.
Okay.
Because I didn't get to watch this trailer.
Fair enough.
I meant to, but I just never got around to it.
Let's see. JoJo's is getting Keiichiro Nijimura, the brother of what's-his-face.
I can never say his name. Okuyasu?
Yeah.
His brother, who's got... his stand was Bad Company. That was the actual name of it.
It's like little army guys.
Yeah. Which was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's kind of weird watching this trailer, watching this guy just doesn't do anything, and then all these little army guys come out and shoot him and stuff.
I forgot the name they gave him for the English subtitles, but
Worst Company,
yeah, which is kind of dumb.
Even though it says on his collar, it says bad co.
Yeah.
It says bad company. Like,
that's my favorite thing about these is that they put the work into changing the subtitle.
Yeah.
They'll never change what they say.
Yeah.
And they'll never change the character model because it's too much work.
Yeah.
Which is amazing because it doesn't fuck with us at the same time. I kind of like that a lot about it.
Agreed. Mike, you want to talk a little bit about Crash Team Rumble?
Yeah, so they Activision announced the release date for Crash Team Rumble, which is a multiplayer 4v4 Crash Bandicoot game.
Yep.
Where you have to collect the most Wampa fruit than the other team, as well as like you be beating each other up and stuff. There's going to be a beta between April 20th and 24th if you've pre-ordered the game.
Right.
There are two versions of the pre-orders, which was surprising because it's a lot cheaper than I thought it was going to be. It's $20 for the standard edition.
Okay.
And $30 for the deluxe. And the deluxe comes with like not a shit ton. It comes with a lot of pre-order bonuses, like different outfits and stuff, as well as the season pass 1 and 2, where the standard one only comes with the normal season pass. And that's a lot for just like a $10 difference. So I actually would highly recommend the deluxe one if you end up doing that. As far as I know, there's not a physical release for it either. This
holds no interest for me whatsoever. Like,
I can't blame you because it barely holds interest for me.
Yeah,
it only holds interest for me because I like Crash Bandicoot.
Right,
but the issue is it's a multiplayer game that I don't truly understand what's happening in so far.
It's like third-person Smash Brothers, sort of. Like
it's more like it's more like a third-person run-around Mario Party, almost is what it feels like. I can
see that too.
I don't know. That's the thing. It's hard for me to describe, but I get whether you're coming with the Smash Brothers thing.
Yep. Let's see. Super Meat Boy. Well, no, Super Meat Boy isn't back, but Dr. Fetus is back. We got the announcement trailer for Dr. Fetus's Mean Meat Machine.
That's a great name for that.
Which is like a puzzle, like match 3 kind of style game with a lot of crazy looking fetuses and chainsaws and all kinds of like ghosts and weirdness going on.
Because the name is a reference to a Sonic game.
Yeah, this is Dr. Robotnik's Mean Meat Machine.
And they actually referenced that in the second movie too, which I thought was fun.
Yeah.
But that's great. I love that they're willing to do something different with that idea.
Yeah,
because Super Meat Boy is a franchise I did not expect to take off the way it did.
I really liked the last one where it was like you were constantly running.
Was it the female one or
no? It was one where you were constantly running.
Oh,
and
that
you just
one.
had to hit the jump button at various points.
That one was pretty cool. That was like an endless runner.
Yep. And the last trailer. I saved the best for last. Michael. It is Morbin time.
Yeah, it is.
Again, the Midnight Suns have a brand new person. It's Michael Morbius. He's morbing it up with Blade and the Hunter.
Yeah, the best part is when he said it's Morbin time and morbed all over those guys.
He morbed all over them.
It's fucking amazing that's but it makes sense as to why he's in the game.
Yeah,
because the Midnight Suns are all about like mystical shit.
Sure.
So if he's one of those guys that shows up a lot when it comes to that sort of thing.
Wasn't like the original like kind of Marvel like dark like it was the Midnight Suns original like imprint was for like Blade, Morbius, Ghost Rider, and there was like one other
something
guy.
Like that. I never knew enough about the original Midnight Suns, but that's why it makes it that much more obvious that he would be one of the guys that would be part of it.
Yep.
And the fact that Dracula is the boss of this part
this is Dracula.
It's kind of amazing.
It's just Dracula is the boss. Yep.
It's funny to me that like these are the characters that started off, but Storm is like the last one. So it's like, where does Storm fit into all of this?
Well, they got some mutants in there, right?
Well, they got Wolverine and Magic, and then that's it, as far as I know, mutant-wise. As far as I remember, mutant-wise, at least.
Is Wade a mutant in the?
Well, Deadpool isn't technically a mutant in general.
Okay,
he's a mutate because he got his stuff through experiments.
Okay.
Same. It's like Spider-Man. Spider-Man's a mutate because of that reason.
There wasn't Captain America, Thor. Yeah, that's right. There aren't any other mutants in there, are there?
Yeah.
Wait, is Nico a mutant?
No, she's like a witch. She got like witch stuff from her mother.
Okay.
Not a mutant power apparently, because it's like a staff.
Hey, but hasn't Storm has been known to do like magic in the past, right?
No, I don't know. I don't know enough about Storm to dispute that.
Okay. I don't know either. Anyway, go get Morbius. I find it I find it fascinating that the world keeps being like, Jeff, Morbius. And I'm like, guys, I know who Morbius is, and I didn't care about Morbius ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Like, you cannot make me care about Morbius. It's like, ooh, Dr. Kurt Connors is the bad guy. And I'm like, pass. It's all right. It's just a giant lizard, man. I don't give a shit.
I care more about Kurt Connors than I do Morbius, though. Because Morbius's whole thing, he's like, I was a sickly dude, and now I've transformed from the tiny twink to the muscle-bound freak you see before you.
Yep.
Whereas, like, Connors is just like, I just want my arm.
Yep.
And that's kind of fun.
There's a lot of characters that they keep trying to make me care about, and I don't fucking care about them. I barely care about Namor. And I've read Namor for like 30 years. I've been reading like comics that have Namor in them.
The reason I care about Namor, Jeff, is the same reason I care about Mr. Nimbus, is because he wants to fuck everything that moves.
The only Namor I ever cared about was like they had that what was it, like somebody wrote a really dark Fantastic Four comic where it was like, the only time I care about Namor is when he's in the love triangle with Reed Richards and Sue Storm. Like
he said, he wants to fuck everything that moves, and that's the one thing. It's the one thing I appreciate about Namor.
Right,
is the man doesn't know when to quit. When the man is in a room with the man's wife, while the husband is standing there, he'll look Reed Richards dead in the eye and go, "I'm gonna fuck your wife.
I'm gonna fuck your wife." Yep.
Try and stop me.
Yep.
And that's been that for 60 years.
A lot of comic book characters that I don't care about. Morbius is amongst
also,
them.
Namor's like the oldest Marvel character in existence, and that makes me laugh every time I think about it.
Yeah. Let's see. We're getting some interesting. We're getting an interesting remake. So Relentless, Little Big Adventure, is. I don't know if you know this game, Michael.
I don't. To be honest.
Do you know? Let's see if I can find you a picture of the original one. There was a game called Twinson's Adventure. Twinson's Adventure. This is an old game. Old. Like I played it when I was like a middle schooler. And it was like this kind of top-down, third-person. Like everybody was made of like little bubbles and stuff.
I vaguely remember this one actually. My cousin must have played this.
They're
one.
Remaking this game.
Really?
Like an independent team is trying to remake the game, and they're trying to do it to show that there is a level of interest to like a publisher that they should give them money to make like a full sequel to it.
Oh, that's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
And they're using Unreal Engine 5.
Yep. And reworking the controls, adding some features. They got some original music from the original composer. It's very strange. I would never in the world have thought that they would be making another Twinson game.
Well, this is how you do it: is that you find the game that no one has talked about in 20 years,
right? And
then you grab it because no one's paying attention to it.
This is why we're making that Supreme game, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly why we're gonna make that Supreme game.
Ooh, we should make a Youngblood game because nobody cares about Youngblood. But when fucking Alan Moore rebooted Youngblood, it was the shit.
It was pretty great.
So yeah, that's on the horizon. Hey everybody, Sonic Frontiers is getting some new content this week. Photo mode, jukebox mode, and some challenges to do after you play the game.
Now you can take all the pictures of the empty areas.
Yep.
While he gives a peace sign, I guess.
Yep. Eats chili dog. I think I would be impressed if he could actually eat a chili dog, but I don't think
would be too actually.
Let's see. Stranger in Paradise is coming to Steam next month, and it's getting a discount. So
because they took out the Frank Sinatra music out of it.
April 6th, it's getting a permanent price cut from $60 to $40.
That's not terrible for that game.
Yep. Part of me wants to go back and play more of that game and see if I can't get into the spirit of it, because people are just like, it's so stupid. But like, if you could get into it,
that's what usage is sequential.
Oh, the fucking Stranger in Paradise.
You totally should do that with Matt.
Bullshit.
You guys would have a lot to joke with, I assume.
Yeah. I don't know if I remember Final Fantasy 1 enough.
I don't think anyone remembers Final Fantasy 1 enough. They just pretend they do because they read 8-bit theater.
It's true. It's true. And then let's see. Last but not least, before we get to the fun stuff, that Mask of the Rose game that was like the dating sim in the Sunless Sea universe got pushed from late 2022 to 2023, to April of 2023. No, wait.
I was about to say what?
Wait, what? Q3 of 2022 to all the way to April of 2023. Q3 of 2022 ends in March. So
that's okay. That makes more sense.
Yes,
I was very confused.
Sorry.
That makes more sense. Okay, cool.
I'm losing it all, you guys. The Red Bull is gone. The coffee is gone. I'm gone. It's all gone.
The wings are gone.
The wings are gone. I cannot sponsor you anymore, Red Bull. I'm sorry.
Give me my dollar back.
Give me, yeah. All right, let's finish it up. So this weekend, Diablo is actually, by the time this comes out, this will be over, but this is kind of a fun thing. Diablo 4 beta is going open this weekend.
Yes.
And they have a promo that's running on Twitter that is like, hey, are you going to be playing the Diablo 4 beta all weekend? If you tweet at us like what chore you're going to be skipping to play it, we'll put you in a raffle for a $200 gift certificate to like one of those I'll come do chores at your house app companies.
Oh, okay.
To have them like come and do your chores while you're playing the Diablo 4 beta.
This is the secret Power Wash Simulator DLC.
Yes.
At your house.
Yes. So 200K is being split up in $200 prizes for 1,000 people.
That's fun.
With the hashtag Diablo for the weekend.
My apartment gave me a credit for one of those for something called Spruce.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're like, here's $40. I was like, I don't know if I'll ever use this, but I'll look into it.
Come take my trash out. The end. Let's see. The Sims 4 has one of the greatest bugs I've ever seen. I don't know if you've seen The Sims 4 has added babies.
I remember that, but I didn't know about any glitches.
So they added the babies, and they're not like, they used to be objects, right? And now they're like actual individual things. But apparently there is some kind of thing where if you click on the wrong thing with the babies, they will turn long-legged, long-armed. Like they're still the baby model, but their legs and arms grow to like Slender Man proportions.
Oh my God.
And look like crazy insanity.
So that first one looked fine because they were in a onesie.
Yeah.
So the legs weren't as obvious, but everything since then is horrifying.
Yeah. This has been reported already to EA, but I heartily approve. I
kind of want them to keep it.
Yep.
That'd be amazing. Just leave it alone.
Speaking of horrifying bullshit, Elden Ring put out some infographics talking about like what all has happened in the first year of Elden Ring.
Yeah, it's been a year since then, huh?
Yep. So apparently, what was it? Like they said, there have been, what was it?
It's the death thing, right?
8.9 billion deaths. So more deaths in Elden Ring than there are human beings on the planet Earth.
It says a lot about Elden Ring, to be honest.
It's funny, too, because they had a few interesting things. Melania apparently is the top boss that people have died to, and followed by Margit, which is like a lot of times the first boss that people bounce off of. But then the Limgrave Tree Sentinel,
that I'm not surprised by at all.
The guy you got to kill to get into the capital, and then Radagon, the almost close to the end game boss.
Wait, isn't there a Limgrave Tree Sentinel like right outside the spawning point or something like that?
That's what it is.
That's the reason I wasn't surprised by it.
Yes. So people would go out, they would try to fight him, and then immediately get their asses stomped.
Exactly, and that's why that's definitely why he's number 3.
5.9 billion boss attempts. This is funny, though, because they also have the causes of death. 69% of the deaths in Elden Ring are from enemies and NPCs, 15% from status effects, 14% from falls to death, only 2% by other players.
That was actually kind of surprising.
So the invasions are pretty low.
The fall to death makes sense, though. I've died a lot that way.
They also show summons. There have been over 1 billion summons. 88% co-op, only 12% invasions.
That definitely, what I think that says more than anything is how many casual people played this game.
Yeah.
Because if this was any other one of them, that invasion scale would be a lot higher.
Yeah, I think that represents the number of invaders that we saw in any other game, but there were so many other people just solo playing the game that like it then boosted the stats.
It's kind of it's really interesting actually because of it.
Yep. And then the top 5 spells. That's not interesting. Top 5 acquired incantations. Yeah, some of this is meh, but yeah, it's interesting. And last but not least, Let Me Solo Her is back.
Oh, I heard about this.
Playing Elden Ring, but every enemy and boss is Melania. Every one of them.
Every single one of them.
Every single one of them.
He's gonna get through the entire game that way.
Yep. Now, to be clear, when they're not fighting a boss, they are running past most of them. There's a Melania that is a bird. There's another Melania. Like, they are not stopping to fight every Melania that they see, but they're all doing their fucking kind of crazy swoop attacks. But then this guy has done this so much that it's just like completely internalized what's going on. It is kind of funny though to watch him just running by a billion Melanias. Like the number one cause of death in Elden Ring boss is Melania.
They're all just hanging out. It's actually kind of creepy how many there are.
Yeah.
Like when he walked up to those 3, I got horrified very quickly.
Yeah. Oh wait, I wonder we're looking at he skipped over it. I was like, does it do the Godric animation with Melania where he's like chopping on the guy?
I bet you it does. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how the cutscenes are rendered.
Yeah.
I don't know if it just does in-game models, because that's really what would change it.
The interesting thing is, I think he's using some interesting mod, because see down here it says Melania the Grafted. So instead of Godric the Grafted, it says Melania the Grafted.
They changed all the texts to just be Melanias.
Yes. So I don't know. It's kind of interesting. The number, that's the Melania of Radagon instead of the Red Wolf of Radagon. I wonder if there's Melania, Queen of the Full Moon, instead of Renala.
It's just all her.
And she does the bloom and everything. Like, it's kind of crazy. So yeah,
I love that. That's amazing.
Guy's got way too much fucking time on his hands.
He's a legend now.
Yep.
He's an Elden Ring legend.
Yep.
He'll go down in history.
He got sent fucking From Software sent him like some swords and shit.
Yeah, he did a lot for the community, man. You gotta appreciate the guy.
It would be interesting if when they put out those infographics, they said like what percentage of Melania deaths of overcoming were just this one guy. Yeah,
that would be amazing. I want to see that stuff.
Got hit. It's a lot harder to dodge the waterfowl dance when you're in an enclosed space like this.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it. That's a podcast.
That's fucking crazy.
That's a lot of stuff. Maybe don't give Melania your social security number.
She can do your taxes though, Jeff.
Yeah, but she's gonna use the waterfowl dance, and it's just gonna give her health back. Like, it's not gonna be any good. She's gonna do your taxes, and she's gonna chop them up with waterfowl dance, and she's gonna get all her health back. And like,
that's how you get the maximum refund, Jeff. Maximum refund.
Anyway,
she does it to the IRS, and they die immediately.
Oh my goodness, Michael, tell the fine people of the internet where they can find you.
You can find me at BellaLostSouls.net. I do their video game articles Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. Central Time. I got into the One of Us screening for Super Mario, so I'm gonna watch that when that happens.
Oh.
I don't know when, but keep an eye out for whenever that pops up.
Okay. Yeah, you keep an eye on this website for when my videos pop up.
And when he dates that IRS lady.
And when I'm gonna put in a fake social security number. You can just use a fake social security number, then change whatever they output.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, you just do that. Anyway, that's it.
Gotta get the X-rated update though.
Really, really, really fucking tired. I need like a salad or something. Michael, I've had too much food in the last 2 days.
Too much meat is what you're saying.
I'm about to fall asleep. That's it. That's RageSelect. That's the podcast. I'm sponsoring Red Bull. Red Bull sponsored by RageSelect. Get out of my house. Bye.